Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All that time. No one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering. Is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time. Caveman on the line. H.G got the stats.
No filters, no suits, just facts on blast.
He seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman. What did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now.
Marshawn
Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like, we're not getting any better.
To the left, got the edge and grind. We break it all
Get it
down
into
like
Smith. What a pass! Got Daniel Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in.
We roar from the base to the backfield floor. No filters, no fake control. We
So really, like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks in the season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on that.
H.g on deck, stats loaded in primes. Reading the field.
Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking
breaking down ball like a heat wave blade.
Oh, let's go! Oh, no. Put him in there. Did not put him in there.
We see through the hype. Call out the Warriors.
So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that. You're such a hater.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. H.g and Caveman in the house, ready for another episode of Football Frenzy. But before we get into today's episode, we got some news. We're going to get this QR code loaded up, but our newest partner, Battleground Pro Wrestling, which I got the great opportunity to be the commentator for, new color commentary for next month. So watch out, everybody. We're Battleground Pro Wrestling on MB Radio TV. But we are helping get their tickets out there. We're going to get that QR code loaded up, and you can buy yourself some tickets to see them at the Greeley Rec Center in the last Saturday of October, which I believe is the 24th. So mark your calendars for their special Halloween event. We got to meet some awesome wrestlers. Joel got some stuff signed for us right here. We got Miss Evelyn Carter, had a win in her match here. Our pictures are getting cut out. We're just going to throw them up here later as well. But the matches on that card were sweet. The 4-hour-long event down in Greeley was pretty cool. It's pretty cool one.
It sounds like a super exciting and fun league. That's right here in Colorado, nice and local. And yeah, I mean, they're just starting out. So I mean, like you have no idea what to expect from them. They can only go up, you know.
Pretty big following though for being pretty underground, independent company. There was a lot of people there that actually, knew they had been following along through matches. So they were fully enveloped in the story, and they all knew what was going on. It was good. It was a good time. They let us out in the ring, throw out some stuff, got some ducks out to the fans and everything. It was a good time.
Perfect. And you said those are going to be is this a weekly occurrence?
It is monthly.
Monthly. Every
month on the last Saturday, and they take it December's off. So you got plenty of time to buy those tickets. This most recent Saturday was their last event. So you got about a month now to get those tickets ready for the next one.
Perfect. All right. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned after our first break. We'll have that QR code and some more information about that stuff loaded in the StreamYard. Got off to a little bit of a rocky start this morning. We had a cord come undone.
Computer died 10 minutes before we were about to start.
Yeah.
We were lucky.
Bit of
Joel
a fire
walked down
drill.
the steps.
Right. He saved us, was able to get us going, so we're ready to go. Right as we right around 9 basically. And we're ready to get into another episode of Football Frenzy here, Caveman. Crazy week of college and pro. So much to discuss, so much to dive into. We're going to do as we always do. We're going to start on the college side. And before we dive into some individual matchups, here's a broader look at what happened among the top 25 this last weekend. So Friday night, 2 top 25 ranked teams go down. Arizona State, who despite not being ranked, was, right outside of it, is going to get back into the rankings after beating TCU 27-24. Big game out of Jordan Tyson. We'll discuss that. Florida State, maybe, not as good as we all thought. Shocking loss to Virginia. Awesome field storming at the end of that game. Tommy Castellanos, not looking too great. 46-38. The Seminoles fall. Then on to Saturday, starting near the bottom of the top 25. BYU just got snuck into the rankings, taking on our CU Buffs. Things looked pretty bleak for BYU early, but they put together 3 really solid quarters.
Yeah, all you really need to have, if you're playing against Colorado, you just need to have a dual threat quarterback.
Pretty much.
Literally the last 3 games we played against dual threat quarterbacks, and they've just ran all over us. Thanks, Charles. We got the referee shirts going. This is officially the new attire of Till the Final Whistle, the debut episode right here today.
So we'll be wearing these for the very foreseeable future.
Patched and everything.
Oh, they're sick. Then we go down a little further. Number 23, Illinois versus number 24, USC. Illinois, a big bounce back game for them.
Yeah, this one was huge.
34-32. Good home victory after an embarrassing road loss. So maybe not quite yet ready to ward off the Illini.
Yeah, they were able to just squeak this one by. After getting destroyed the week prior, really thought USC is going to come and just command this entire game. But
we will dissect that game more in depth here in just a bit. Moving on to number 22, Notre Dame, a game that said they might want to be a little cautious of, could be a trap game going into Arkansas. Took no chances, blew the doors off of the Razorbacks. This game was basically over at halftime, and Sam Pittman, that performance that his Razorbacks put up on the field that day, got him fired. He's out at Arkansas. Our second head coach gone. Can't say it's surprised. I'm not too surprised that he was gone before Billy Napier. If the Gators don't get something turned around soon, yeah, Napier might be next.
He definitely might be next.
Missouri continuing to look impressive. Got a big home victory over UMass. I know no one crazy, but regardless, a big 42-6 win for them to keep moving up in the rankings. Vanderbilt, very impressive performance by their offense, not super impressive by their defense. They win 55-35. Makes you a bit concerned about, how that defense is going to perform against some more high quality offenses, and is the offense going to struggle against high quality defenses? Could that be a problem? Well, we'll find out. They are going to be tested next week, and we'll dive into that matchup a little later too. Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Yellow Jackets
30-29, dude.
Barely sneak out of there, 30-29. So Wake Forest showing some fight, hosting them at home. Georgia Tech does still get the victory and move to 5-0 on the season.
Whoever that Claiborne kid is for Wake Forest,
he was having his way with them, that's for sure. 21 carries for 119 in the touch. Tennessee, Mississippi State, a very good Mississippi State football team.
Pretty good unranked team.
For real.
4-1.
Beat Arizona State in a very impressive game. We're hosting the Volunteers here. Got a lot of quality reps out of the running back Bothwell with $134 and 2 touchdowns.
Man.
But got the overtime win. Had to go to extra periods, but 41-34. Big victory on the road for the Vols as they look to keep pace in the very competitive SEC. Okay, man, I think we're going to have to take Arizona out of contention.
Now they're gone.
For the Big Ten. Definitely some issues with that team. Very just inconsistent offensively. Defense is solid. I think if you just had more consistency offensively, it might be a bit more competitive. But Iowa State really proven that they are one of the big dogs here in the Big 12. And, the team that I'm not taking lightly against anybody, one of the scarier teams that could come out of the Big 12 and go into the playoffs. I think Rocco Beck is playing really well, and they really seem to have replaced that wide receiver talent that they lost quite well. And a dominant home victory, 39-14 over the Wildcats. Indiana got a huge victory over Illinois last week, but Iowa, very good at running the football and
real good at
defense.
Yeah.
Yep, that's Iowa football. Sloppy, ugly game that Indiana got drug into, but they managed to hang on, get the victory on the road.
Win it with a minute and a half left.
Yeah, late touchdown to seal this one. Surratt with his 6 catches, 132 and a touchdown, looking very good for the Hoosiers. 20-15, Indiana takes the victory. Now we're getting into some top 10 teams here. Texas A&M, the number 9th ranked team in the country.
This was a close one.
Hosting Auburn, rather.
Got it done against SEC defense, though.
Real ugly type of game. Grinded it out, though, and got the 16-10 win. Concepcion had his 7 receptions for 113. Le'Veon Moss, just a bell cow of a back, man. 139 on the touch, dude.
Yeah,
I
this weekend
really like him, man. They got sometimes you're gonna. I think they kind of came out of this game a little. I mean, they came out hot. I think they just got a little overconfident, and Auburn was doing some interesting, disguises and just some different stuff on defense, and was really, committed to making them have to take away the big play and drive the length of the field, and got a bit more into just a grinded out second half. But A&M holds on. They're 4-0. One of our games of the week, man, Alabama, Georgia. And after that week 1 loss, I think too many people wrote off Alabama. This is a really good football team.
They're way better than everyone suspected.
Go into Athens, go into Sanford Stadium, and beat Georgia, powered mostly behind the 17-point second quarter. And they got shut out in the second half, interestingly enough. But
it just wasn't enough.
Enough defensively to really disrupt Georgia, make them uncomfortable. Ty Simpson, man, I like this guy a lot, man. He's a good pocket passer, strong arm,
been solid.
A lot of talent there. Alabama just certainly going to jump up a lot. And I mean, we might have taken them out of our top SEC schools. They're still very much a threat to win that whole thing. A team that I'm starting to not be as bought in on is LSU, as they go into Oxford and fall to Ole Miss, who's now 5-0 on the season. Getting it done with their backup, Chambliss, man. Another big performance out of the kid, 314 in the touchdown. We'll have
keep him at the reins. It's his team now, man.
I don't know if you want to bring Austin Simmons back. LSU, we'll talk about this more, but good defense. They got a great defense this year, but man, they might not have the offense to go with it.
It just finds a way to falter. It's
really
like does. Once you get to the deep and intermediate passing game, they're kind of really just a one-dimensional team with Garrett Nussmeier. It's unfortunate. Maybe they can figure it out. But Penn State, Oregon.
A whiteout. Absolutely the best game of the entire weekend.
Double overtime to cap off Saturday night.
And dude, James Franklin dropping another big game. But another big takeaway from this, Dante Moore, man, this kid is legit. Like he, opted to be Dylan Gabriel's backup. He wanted to stay at Oregon. And the Ducks, I mean, that was a big statement victory. A real, like, hey, we're title contenders, Wasn't sure. I think a lot of people knew they'd be good, weren't sure how good, if they were going to be, 14-0 national title contender good again with all the talent that they lost in the draft, but they replaced it really well. And they had a good farm system going. Dan Lanning coached a great game. 30-24 victory for the Ducks. The first whiteout loss for Penn State since 2018 against Ohio State. And speaking of Ohio State, they go into Seattle to play Washington. Come out with a 24-6 victory. Kind of looked bored for a lot of this game.
This one was a little bit of a...
I think they didn't take it too seriously to start. And Washington hung around, and then they eventually were like, okay, let's go out and just 10 points in the fourth quarter, kind of put this thing away.
Because Washington's a little bit better than they thought. They're playing in Washington, They just took their foot off the gas pedal, though. Ohio State being number one, they're kind of just any other team that they're playing right now. They've been outclassing. This one, it's just kind of one of those games, like you're saying. Just got bored out there. Didn't really even feel like it was a competitive game.
Right, because at no point did you're like, man, it's kind of weird that Ohio State's not like pulling away. But I was never like, man, Washington's got a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, it was just kind of like they're out there.
It's like, what is Ohio State doing? Like they're gonna get it together, They're gonna start trying a little harder.
I mean, defensively, it looks like they had a good game, holding scoreless first quarter, number one team in the country, but you can't get any more than 3 points on the board. So it's like they weren't really doing that much great.
It just felt like Washington had to execute pretty much flawlessly to score
3 points.
3 points to get a field goal. And I was like, all right, they're not winning this. But that's a broad overview of the top 25. A lot of great matchups to dive into here. Okay, man, where do we start?
I mean, let's go with one of these earlier matchups. LSU and Ole Miss. This one kicked off around noon. Or no, it was actually one of the early games.
So
one of the
1:30, I believe. Or early afternoon.
Early afternoon matchups. Man, just kind of a stuttering offense for LSU.
Right.
Never really found a stride last year.
A lot that they want to put on Garrett Nussmeier. The run game basically non-existent in it, and it's really been mostly non-existent for them all year. It's
21 carries for 59 yards.
Nussmeier's good, but like he's not like drop back and throw the ball 40 times a game good. Not with the how this O-line plays, and I mean, defenses are just going to drop back with him when you're not a threat to run the football.
Yeah. It's going to make it a whole lot harder to assess, read a defense, and make the right throw when you're expected to pass on majority of the plays.
It's weird. Like for an LSU team to not have like really any receivers that I'm super stoked on. Like these guys are definitely good, but like I'm like, LSU is like one of those teams that they just get like a guy like, oh, he's gonna be like a first round like top 20 draft pick. Like he's that good, and it's just like they've got talented receivers. Don't get me wrong, but they just aren't. They aren't what we're accustomed to, Yeah,
it's just definitely a different group for Brian Kelly. Far, far different from last year. I mean, what is he going to be? Another coach that could potentially be on the hot seat? I know they're 4-1, but they're getting into conference play now. What's going to happen? Like, there's not going to be much changes with this offense, I don't think. Like, I don't know if they're really going to find a running game here with Harlem Berry or Jawan Johnson.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ole Miss has a fantastic defensive front and great linebackers to boot with it. So they're not an easy team to run on it. I mean, like especially they're at home, fired up, running around. But
same thing said for every other team in their conference too.
Just not like nothing.
That's why it sucks for them.
Right. And there wasn't really like a single run aside from maybe when Caleb Jackson got a 10-yard rush. That's what you could hold your hat on from the running game here.
That was one 10-yard run.
And then just you go on the flip side. Chambliss, I think he just gives you so much extra with his legs because on top of 314 and the touchdown, he also gives, he gives the Rebels 71 yards on the ground.
This guy's averaging 400 something all-purpose yards a game this season.
Kawan Lacey picking up another 87. So I mean, just those two alone were really able to add a whole dimension of offense to your running game. Right, and like he's distributing the ball, getting it to a lot of different guys as well. He just looks very in command back there. One interception, but I mean, in a game like this, where with how well your defense is playing, you can kind of live with a mistake.
Yeah,
like that. Like a lot of 23-39, but a good amount of those completions were him, learning to be a little more cautious, protecting the football. I really think, Ole Miss probably has the best chance to win if he stays in, but Lane Kiffin indicating that might not be the case when Austin Simmons is back.
And I mean, hopefully not, because Simmons was 4 touchdowns, 4 picks before he was benched. I mean, this guy's come out. This is his only interception, winning you games, leading the team perfectly. I feel like this is your starter right here.
Right. Simmons got hurt, so I mean he's due back from injury soon. But I mean this team's humming with Chambliss. I mean, it looks real good, especially like offensively. I mean they're getting a lot of what they like. Outgained LSU 484 to 256. 50% third down conversion percentage. They'll take that 8 to 16, especially when you hold your opponent to 2 of 11. I mean the big thing is I got to clean up the penalties.
That is where they've been getting killed. Probably the only reason that this game was as close as it was.
That was kind of a lot of what took some of the wind out of their sails.
14 penalties for 109 yards.
109. So Mohawk commented in here. Oh yeah, okay.
Perfect.
You got us blushing over here, Mohawk.
Perfect.
We miss you in the studio. Wish you could be here talking football with us. But great win for Ole Miss here. LSU. The offense can be good. Like I believe that this offense does have the ability to be really good. I think a lot of it's going to come down to play calling and just being able to establish the run. And how, I don't know. Kelly's just kind of an old school coach. I just don't see a lot of creativity.
No, it's just the same old stuff, really. They looked like the same exact team as last year.
Getting mixed into it, yeah.
Their schedule doesn't really get any easier. You got Vanderbilt next. You're home against South Carolina next. Not an easy game. Then you're at Vanderbilt, and then you got Texas A&M, home game for them, but still top 10 ranked team. Then you're going to another top 10 ranked team playing in Alabama. And then you got 2 easier weeks, Arkansas and Western Kentucky, back-to-back home games. But your final game of the year, top 5 team, Oklahoma, in Oklahoma. I mean, their schedule's not getting any easier. They're not getting any less competition in the further weeks to come. So I think it's really hard it's going to be really hard for them to bounce back.
Jimmy saying Brian Kelly, easily one of the most overrated coaches in the history of college football.
You would know.
And I would agree.
He coached his Irish for a while.
Yeah. And he just always finds ways to squander good rosters,
Yeah.
And he's not really I just don't I don't know why these big organizations or big colleges keep hiring him on, and that's probably where most of his ability to recruit comes from. I don't think he's a great recruiter or anything. All former Big 12 schools run the SEC because SEC traditional powerhouse R9.
Well, that's probably the only positive side about this new NIL era. We're seeing new teams rise to the top. Conference realignment changed everything around for a lot of teams, where they're playing now and who they play against. So I honestly like it. I'm all for it.
All for it.
We don't need the same powerhouse teams to be in it every single year. And they end up still making it with the 12-team playoff. They just have to play in through the bracket.
Well, speaking of Big 12 teams, let's flash back to Friday. TCU, Arizona State. Well, a really good game we had here. It was still going on when I pulled up to work on Friday night. Got to watch the end there. And that TCU was looking like they were rolling. I mean, it says 14-10 in the second half, but they were up 17-0 there at one point. And Arizona State just would not be deterred, came clawing back. Kenny Dillingham, he's got that team. They fight. Sam Levitt didn't get discouraged. And I mean, things weren't really going for him early, but he didn't really get down on himself, and he was just slinging it come the second half. And him and this Jordan Tyson connection, one of the better ones in all of college football. Of Levitt's 291 yards and 2 touchdowns, Jordan Tyson snagged 8 of those balls for 126 and 2 touchdowns. Was a huge playmaker all over the field. They got a lot of great running out of Raleek Brown. And yeah, on the other side, I mean, TCU, like Hoover, man, he was looking okay when that crowd wasn't into it, but as that crowd got back into it,
they made it much harder for him. Yeah,
that guy started to crumble, and the pressure really started to get to him.
Yep, that NIL really levels out the playing field.
Yeah,
being able to pay your players now.
I will say, the fact that it hasn't there's still a number of those teams that are super good.
Yeah, like they're still good. It's just other teams are getting better now. That's what makes it nice.
It's just the fact that there wasn't like a huge drop off makes it think okay, like they were paying those players a lot, and they still they're still finding some way to kind of pay them more on the side,
Yeah.
Which is why we haven't seen like SEC schools drop off completely, but they definitely can't. They don't have the dominance that they do anymore.
I think it was a good strat. That's probably the best thing to happen to college football in a while, is making the competition better. We're making the games more exciting, making NCAA some more money to pay their kids. Right. Why not?
I think it's encouraging some guys to stay in college for longer.
Yeah.
They can technically make more money that way, which I think is not necessarily a bad thing. It's more development. Josh Hoover, you should
giving people their education.
You should stay in college just a little bit longer. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and late interceptions, bad points of the game that kept Arizona State alive in this one.
TCU, 24th ranked, but still we're seeing they're facing some growing pains.
Yeah. The Sun Devils, man, they faltered early against Mississippi State, but they're playing really good football.
Playing against the most well-coached team in your conference in Arizona State. That's probably the easily the best, most well-coached team in that conference, Arizona State.
Right. And we got to give Prince Dorba with game record in this one with the 3 sacks, had half of his team's sacks in this one, 4 tackles for a loss. That guy's he's moving up in the draft stock. Right there.
Keep your eyes on that guy right there.
That was a big time game, and really some of those sacks were huge momentum swinging plays. So Levitt, Tyson, Brown were all fantastic in this one. I forgot to mention Brown also caught 9 balls for 50 yards on top of his 130 on the ground, but Dorba on the defensive line, making a lot of great plays there. And yeah, like we said, Arizona State, they're going to get back into the top 25 because of this win. Really 500 yards of total offense for them, and just crushed it the time of possession. So, I mean, I like Texas Tech. They're definitely a good team, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I really think Iowa State is a lock no matter what. I just don't see them not making it. I really think it's coming down between Arizona State or Texas Tech. So. But I'm not ready to – BYU showed some impressive things. I'm not quite ready to write them off. I think Houston could potentially
and Iowa State
get it going. So, yeah, the Big 12 is my 3 front runners at the moment: Arizona State, Texas Tech, and Iowa State. But
top 3.
God, it's gonna be crazy. Who knows who we're gonna get?
Oregon's QB is the true Mohawk, and they got it done in double overtime.
All right,
Dylan Thieneman should be the MVP of this game for intercepting Drew Aller's pass in that overtime. But I agree with you, man.
Insane interception.
Moore
Big hops
is
there.
the truth. Dante Moore is insane. That's one guy who's really jumped up.
Texas Tech spent $28 million. Yeah, that's insane.
Jeez.
Like I said, I really think like Iowa State just has a really great lead, so that's why I think they've got the easiest path to just maintain their way towards the Big Ten championship. And like Texas Tech, I mean, is hot on their heels. And State though, early season falter, but they're right there. Who knows when we're going to see at the Big 12? It's pure chaos. But getting into the Big Ten, I think
Dante
Oregon
Moore, man, skyrocketing in this draft prospect right now.
Definitively defined to like, hey, we're a top 2 team here in the Big Ten again, like this year. Penn State, nah, they're not. I don't even think this is a hot take, but Drew Aller really isn't that good.
Yeah, I feel like people kind of were starting to see that last year. Like offensively was kind of just a guy that intermediate to deep passing game wasn't really there yet. They were really heavy on running the ball.
I mean, when he's got to diagnose the defense and like, he can't just when he's got to make tough throws. I mean, like even when it's just like make some simple ones, like he was missing open guys, and he just when there's a little uncomfortability there, it just seems like he breaks down. I'll admit he looked good, leading those couple drives to tie the game back up there. But yeah, he was nowhere near the level Moore was. I mean, Moore was decisive. He was incredibly accurate. He was smart. He was very careful with the football. And like he just made big time throw after big time throw. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the pick that he had was it tipped, or I believe he has like some pressure that might have affected the throw. So even
I
in
don't
that
think
one,
he doesn't have an interception.
Well, he threw one on the 2-point conversion attempt, which doesn't get counted against your stats, but it did get intercepted on their 2-point conversion attempt in double overtime. But yeah, he was just a model of efficiency, composure. I mean, really, that was his first big test as a starter. And I mean, you're going to throw him in there on the road in one of the, like, forget just college football, in all of sports, one of the most crazy environments to play in. And I mean, a dang near perfect game. Like, and he never gave Penn State, like even when Penn State stopped this Oregon offense, he was smart enough with the football. They were really good, like protecting it from fumbles and that sort of stuff as well. To never, like, they were going to make Penn State go the length of the field to beat them. They never gave Penn State anything easy.
No easy field position. Didn't turn the ball over like you were saying. Completely efficient on 3rd and 4th down. 6 for 18, 5 for 7 on 4th.
I like the boldness of Dan Lanning too, to just be going for it he went for it a lot on 4th down. It was necessary. Like there were a lot of moments where it's like, yeah, you could punt here, but it's like, you shouldn't do that. Like that, it was a real setting the tempo. And I think it inspired this defense because like that really, showed them, like instilled a lot of trust in them.
To just go for it right where we're at. Trust the defense.
That Texas and James Franklin losing the big game.
Yeah, it's just like last year when they played Ohio State, which the game was, they played that game in the early afternoon window, but it was still a whiteout game for Penn State. That was still another whiteout. It was just daytime, so it didn't really have the same effect. But another big time loss. I'm pretty sure, what is that? That's 3 wins against top 10 teams that he's had in his entire career coaching.
I believe so. And yeah, I mean, he has somewhat struggled against top 10 teams, but like Lanning's certainly turned it around there. And I think he's done just a fantastic job. A team like Oregon transitioning from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten could be, you could expect there to be some years of growing pains. Like Washington went from winning or almost winning the national championship to losing their coach and transferring conferences, and they haven't quite been able to get back. We've seen UCLA, USC not quite be able to get back as well, or be as successful.
It is only 2 wins against top 10 teams since 2016. 2023 in the Rose Bowl, where the starting quarterback for Utah got injured. And then they played Boise State last year in the playoff. And we found out, Boise State couldn't really just get it done with just Genty.
Yeah. That was like, oh, wow. Ashton Genty versus, 17 future NFL players. I want to say another thing with the Oregon Ducks and their coaching. They were super disciplined. Only 4 penalties. And this one, I mean, they were very clean and tight-knit just around procedure and everything. And they didn't let penalties beat them. They were able to stay ahead of the chains all game. I mean, they were simultaneously playing it very safe, while also with a great deal of aggression. If that makes sense. And it all just culminated in a very, very impressive win here with, kind of some domination on the time of possession there too, 30 or almost 34 minutes as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like penalties for both teams were really clean. It's a clean game from both teams. It's just, I think maybe Penn State might have played it a little bit too safe because
I think so.
They couldn't really outgain the Ducks. They were pretty good on 4th down too, 3 for 3, 6 for 15 on 3rd down as well. Maybe they were just playing too safe. I feel like they played a pretty clean game themselves. It's just, they brought it to double overtime game. Like it was right there in their grasp. Maybe there were some chances Penn State could have taken. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape on this one because I feel like 30-24, you got a chance to win it.
Some 4th and shorts, and like they opted to punt at some times, and like I think it just boiled down to Franklin didn't trust his quarterback, and Lanning trusted his completely. And how's that helmet to helmet not a penalty? Yeah, that was a good question. I mean, they were saying because it wasn't like leading with the crown. And I'm like, I mean, it kind of felt like he was giving himself up there, though. And like, I just like face mask to face mask. I mean, we've certainly seen something similar to that get called targeting before. So
yeah, and I figured they were all about their safety. That like calls like that were majority going to go to being like a targeting or helmet to helmet contact.
But I guess not. Also, got to give the Corian Moore, man. That guy's been special for the Ducks all year, and a lot of big moments. In this game, they went to him. He was their guy.
Defenseless and already down.
Same with Kenyon Sadiq.
That's right, Jimmy.
Right. I mean, like, I guess you could make the argument that he was in the process of sliding, but I'm like, I mean, at that point, like, he's given himself up. Like, let's.
Well, when you're initiating that slide, you're already defenseless. When you've initiated the slide, the play's already dead. Even if there isn't a whistle, they're gonna penalty you no matter what.
We've been going for a while here. We're going to go ahead and hit our first break of the day. We've got more college football to break down to, including a major upset on Friday night and a classic rivalry, Bama versus Georgia.
Kirby
chapter.
Smart couldn't get it done.
Another chapter in that one. So make sure you stay tuned. You're listening to Till the Final Whistle here on Military Broadcast.
Shout out, Jimmy.
We break it all down like over.
We're living the American dream. I'm the American dream. Go to school, go to work, Sunday mornings choose a church, attend our games, our plays, PTAs. Drive our cars, flying planes, take the buses, take the trains, walk the beach, ski the slopes, living out our dreams and hopes. We're living, yes, we're living the American dream. We're the American dream. Thank you, soldier, sailor, airman, guardsman, and marine. Thank you all for fighting for our freedom and our dreams, protecting our Constitution, guarding our homes and towns, defending our shores, seas, and skies, and putting boots on the ground. Some gave all for me and you. We served the red, white, and blue, protecting the American dream. Thanks to you, living the American dream. We're the American dream. The world's become a smaller place, many creeds and one big race, staking our claim to the Creator. We have to find a way for each to still be different but live in peace. Till then, we must protect ourselves, 'cause we're living, yes, we're living the American dream. I'm the American dream. We're the American dream.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at nbradio.u.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. The boys are back in the house, and it is time to jump right back into this college football coverage. You just missed us talking about Oregon, Penn State. Let us know if you think that was a helmet to helmet. Should that have been called? But I think we should go to Alabama, Georgia. Kirby Smart. Man, I'm pretty sure he's only beaten Alabama one time since he's taken over at Georgia.
It's interesting. Can't seem to get it done against them, but wins a lot. Has won a lot of other big games, but Crimson Tide,
they take him down.
It's kryptonite.
This was one heck of a game, though. Turned really defensive in that fourth quarter, scoreless from both teams.
Excuse me.
Georgia and their amazing running back having himself a game. That's one thing, a trend this weekend. a lot of these close games, the running backs, man, are going crazy. 119 yards for Chauncey Bowens. They didn't win this, but a big reason and contributor to why this was a 3-point game is this guy right here.
Dude, like, does Georgia finally have an elite running back? They're a team that always get good running backs, very serviceable ones, above average. But even like Trevor Etienne, think back to even like Sonny Michel, like those guys a lot, but they weren't. I never really considered them to be like elite college backs. But this Bowens guy looks like he might just be elite. They needed a lot of help from him. As Gunnar Stockton did not add a whole lot through the air or on the ground.
Yeah, only 20 passes in this one.
Yeah, they were really just giving it to. I'm not sure why Bowens only gets 12 carries when he's averaging 9.9.
Yeah, that's what's interesting. Gunnar Stockton throws 20 passes, but your running back that's 120 yards only got 12 carries.
Right, guy. I mean, he matched your long that you got off of that little end around Dylan Bell. He also had a 43 run. I'm just like all these other guys down here: Frazier, Stockton, McCray, Zakaria Branch, Dwight Phillips. Like, giving these guys carries too. Like, why not feed the hot hand? Clearly, you're not getting. It's not really going through the air. Simpson wholeheartedly outplayed Gunnar Stockton, 20 of 48, 276, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, both teams in this game put together some very good and impressive long drives. We're just chipping your way down the field, 7-8 minutes. 15 to 18 plays, stuff like that. It was just it was a clinic right there out of them. And Georgia just, again, they didn't want to feed the hot hand. And I think that was where it really started to catch up to them. And it really looked like we were on pace for another shootout. This game was, 24-14 at halftime. Georgia gets a touchdown in the third quarter, but just the defenses came to life and started playing at a whole other level too. And then a whole lot less yards in the second half and everything there.
That QR code is live, everybody. Top left-hand side of your screen there. You've got it up. If you want to check out Battleground Pro Wrestling, you can get your tickets starting today here on MBR.
Sign up, man. It's once a month at the end of every month, last Saturday of every month.
And you're getting yourself a good show.
Great show. If you love some wrestling.
Real ladders, by the way. If you're WWE using them plastic ladders, there was a real metal ladders they were using in those ladder matches in that main event. Shout out to the winner, new champion, Nikki Hyde, taking the W there.
They're hardcore, man. So now you look at the Bulldogs dropping to 3-1, getting their first SEC loss. Look ahead to who they've got coming up. Old Miss, that's a game you got to circle now too. They're beat them last year, and they did have to go on the road. They'll be having the benefit of hosting that one. Texas, interesting to see how they are coming off of their bye week. Mississippi State, that's a tricky team. So a couple of
definitely a trap game.
Couple of other big games. Would have loved to be able to get a win over Alabama on your home field, man. But fortunately, that's just not the way it crumbles. And the Crimson Tide I think they're back, man. People are ready to string up Kalen DeBoer, man, after that Florida State loss. But it was a tough opponent on the road. The week one, a lot of weird stuff can happen in that sense. So this is a good win to get you back on track. I will say Alabama does have just an absolute gauntlet of a schedule coming up here. Got Vandy next week. Then they got to go to Missouri, got Tennessee, got to go to South Carolina, get to host LSU in Oklahoma before they get Eastern Illinois. Then they finish it off again, their season off against Auburn. So, yeah, I would certainly didn't do any favors with the scheduling this year.
Not at all.
One of the tougher SEC schedules we got.
I think this game right here, though, proves they're up for the challenge.
I
Ty
think
Simpson's ready to duel these
this
SEC
really showed me
quarterbacks.
that Bama defense is still just as good as ever. And, yeah, I mean, Simpson's going to be able to go head-to-head with the best of them.
Because literally, they barely even ran the ball. I think their leading rusher had 46 yards for Alabama. This is like we're watching Kalen DeBoer coming from pretty much like air raid passing style offense and just bringing it over to Alabama right now because they're slinging it.
I think and Simpson's definitely more of a pocket passer guy that can, he'll sit back there and read the defense, whereas Jalen Milroe is more of an athlete. So I think that might have been why Bama
wasn't so good last year.
Some of those games, why their offense faltered. I think Simpson just really he's the type of quarterback that really plays a lot better in a Caleb DeBoer offense. So
nothing against Jalen Milroe. Kind of wanted the Saints to draft him, but we got Christian Ponder. It's all right.
Still can't get on the field.
Nope.
Rattler's the rat attack. He's playing good. We got some. Gotta go back now to Friday night. Team that beat Alabama early in the season was looking to make some noise and a splash here in the ACC. Costly first conference loss here against Virginia. Going into overtime, Castellanos, some rushed throws. Didn't look super comfortable back there in the pocket. Had the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, they took away his composure.
He wanted to run a lot more. And he picked up 78 yards in the touchdown on the ground. But when they needed him to drop back and throw, that just wasn't super comfortable doing that. Definitely meant some points got left on the board. And he made some bad ones that got intercepted. It wasn't like Chandler Morris was, a model of perfection either. He had 3 interceptions, so it was a sloppier game between both teams overall. Neither squad was super efficient on third down. Both went for it on fourth a good amount. And each team 3 turnovers. At least they kept the penalties to a minimum. It was shaky quarterback play versus just really solid ground attacks by both squads.
Yeah. No one really found in the passing game, no one really found their stride in this one or their rhythm. A lot of inaccuracy and just for a home game, Virginia, it seemed like Morris was not really too composed in this one. I get it though. You're playing against a top 10 opponent. It's not going to be easy.
Antsy is the word I would describe it. He just was like really wanted to make things happen. And he did have 5 touchdowns in this one. He had 2 in the air, 3 more rushing. Ground. So he did make up for the picks and certainly made up for his mistakes. You just like to see him, you're at home, man. Settle it down a little bit. We don't have to win the game on this play. Let's just let's just make a smart play, get ahead of the sticks.
This Virginia team, I'm pretty sure their only one loss is against another team that they probably shouldn't have lost to.
All right, let's see who they.
My computer is loading it up right now. I just clicked on them, but we'll see.
NC State.
Yeah.
Who's not looking too great. Their coach might be on the hot seat. Game that just kind of got away from them on the road there, that's for sure.
Like this Virginia loss for Florida State, that really kills them. That really hurts them later in the season. If it's going to come down to matchups, that's going to hurt them.
They're still, in the ACC, I want to say that they still got a good chance with it, but
Can this team knock off Miami, though?
I'll be honest. I mean, like Miami looks super good. Georgia Tech is definitely scary. Like
Because they don't want Georgia Tech to run it all over them like they did last year in Dublin.
People are sleeping on Louisville too, man.
Definitely a better football team than people
undefeated.
expected as well.
Right, like that's a good team that could really cause some problems for some people. And call me crazy, Duke might just be like a dark horse candidate for the ACC. I mean, they're 2-0 in conference play, 3-2.
I like it
on the year. Yeah, they got worked by Illinois, dropped one to Tulane, but when they got in the conference play, it's like something just kind of like clicked for the Blue Devils. And I mean, yeah, they'll get some challenges against Tech. They got to go to Clemson.
That's a hard schedule for Duke. Holy crap!
Yeah, they'll have Virginia. Got to go to North Carolina. So certainly some tests there, but they got a huge win in Syracuse, beat them 38-3. So certainly not like great to get this type of loss.
They just beat Syracuse, who just beat the crap out of Illinois. What the? What is going on in this? The ACC is weird this season.
It's crazy, man. It's all over the place. Up is down, left is right.
What's going on?
I love it though. That's the chaos.
It's carnage and chaos, football. Baby. That's what we're looking for.
Exactly. I think Florida State will be all right. I mean, this isn't like a super bad loss to have on the road against clearly a talented Virginia team that did come down to the wire. So not a horrible loss to have on your resume. It's just and like you still got a good chance at that second spot there. I think they got Miami next week, so that'll be.
Ooh.
I mean, like that's where this loss does kind of hurt. Where it's like, oh man, like you would have loved to get that win before you gotta take on Miami. You do get to host them, but like, man, all of a sudden you could drop like your first two conference games, and then you're fighting uphill the rest of the season. And it's like, it's not a super hard schedule after Miami. It's Pitt, Stanford, Wake Forest, Clemson, Virginia Tech, NC State, Florida. But I mean, then it's just like, it puts a lot of extra pressure that you kind of don't want some of these younger guys to have on the back of their mind of like, oh man, we're 0-2 in the ACC. Could be interesting to see how that affects the Seminoles. Another conference where it's chaos, and like I think like there's a clear front runner, but who's going to come out of nowhere to be that second team that goes to that championship? I don't know yet. And I mean, I'm not writing off Louisville. I think it could be Louisville. Call me crazy, but that's a really good team.
Keep a close eye out on this, on the ACC these next coming weeks. I want to see how that shakes up.
Flash down to the 10:30 or the noon window. USC, they were complaining about how they had to go across the country. They were playing a game that kicked off at 8 o'clock Pacific time the week before. Now they're playing 9 a.m. Pacific time. They're the following week, and it's like, yeah, you do got to feel for these schools. It's like if only there was like a conference that was kind of just composed of like teams that were like out on the West Coast, near like the Pacific Coast. Like you could have like 12 to 14 schools in like California, Oregon, Washington, maybe some like Utah, Arizona, Colorado. Like they could have just like played conference games together. So that way, you're not
traveling super far.
Playing a night game on the West Coast one week and going out for a morning game on the East Coast the next. So it's unfortunate. There's nothing like that for this.
It's almost like
for those conferences. It's
almost like they chose to leave that
in
scenario as well.
They have to be in the Big Ten. They have no choice. There was no way they could have prevented this. All shade aside, though, big win for the Illini to get back on track. Just one of those where you're just like, wow, it's just kind of crazy that they won this. I mean, it was super evenly matched. They were a lot more consistent throughout the game. Illinois was. There was definitely some missed opportunities in that first half for USC that could have swung the momentum in their favor, and so they were kind of playing uphill all game. Absolutely no defense, which is even if you're the winning team, I mean, you gave up 490 yards.
Oh my God.
Total offense. Sure, you had 502, but I mean, you have 502 and only outgained the other guy by 12. You're like, all right.
Defensively, they just were not there.
Doesn't make me feel super great. 2 turnovers for both squads.
No defense in this one. Besides from the turnovers, there was no defense played.
I still think Mayava did have one interception, but man, he was really good in this one. 364 and 2 touchdowns.
Fairly accurate for the most part, throwing 43 passes.
And Mekhi Lamont is just, again, a real revelation. It sucks that they weren't able to pull this one out because he had one of the more incredible receiving performances, really of the season. 11 catches for 151 and 2 touchdowns. He's just really been a big revelation for them. Another guy, I'm like, wow, he's creeping up on those big boards. He could easily, he keeps up this success, be a first-round pick next year. Then on the flip side, Altmaier did get a little bit, not banged up, but they actually ran a trick play. It was right, Hank Beatty, the 3-yard touchdown pass. So the tight end out there getting involved in the passing game. Altmaier and the offensive line, big improvement for him this week. Only 1 sack given up. He looked a lot more confident in shifting protections, that type of stuff, and the communication seemed a lot better. So you could tell, like, big point of emphasis, and wouldn't write off Illinois just yet. That was a debilitating and embarrassing loss to take on the road there, and to come out the very next week and to really show a lot of improvement and a lot of confidence. Having this team, hosting this team here, going 20-26, 328, 2 touchdowns. And they got some guys defensively too that I really like up front. James Thompson Jr. getting in half a sack there. Gabe Jackus half a sack as well for their only sack of the game too. Didn't get a ton of pressure, but I think Illinois, I mean, it'll just kind of come down to, can this defense, there's been some flashes, can they put some consistency together? Because I think offensively, besides that, getting blanked, that might have just been a bad, like, offensively against Indiana, that might have just been a bad game for them. But offensively, they really got a lot of weapons. And Altmaier is still a pretty good quarterback. You just got to keep him upright, not under siege the entire game. And the operation looks all pretty smooth. Not sure what that was. But on the flip side, USC, tough loss to take here in the Big Ten. I just don't know if they're going to be able to sneak back into the top 25 here. Michigan and Notre Dame coming up next. I mean, those are potentially 2 losses in a row before you get some easier games. But then you got Oregon second to last week of the season.
Yeah, that's going to be
questions, some weird coaching decisions, definitely by Lincoln Riley. And this one, odd clock management late that ultimately ended up costing USC a little bit. See what Illinois' schedule is here. I know they've got Ohio State. Yeah, they got Ohio State in 2 weeks. That's a home game. Maybe they shock some people there. I doubt it. Ohio State will probably beat them, but besides that, Purdue, Washington, Rutgers, Maryland, Wisconsin, Northwestern. I mean, they could win all those games, still be in play for an at-large bid. It'll just be kind of how much does the committee hold that Indiana loss against you rather. And we value a win over an actually pretty good Duke team who could be an SEC contender. I think we're looking at probably Ohio State, Oregon Big Ten championship. Maybe Penn State finds a way. It's just like It's very top heavy there. Where I like what I've seen this week from Illinois. Indiana has been a pleasant surprise. I just don't see any other teams really being able to get past Oregon and Ohio State. I mean, they're like, from what we see, like they're like legit top 5 teams.
Yeah.
It's like there's really no debate there. I think like it's been those two, Miami, and maybe say A&M, even though they're not technically ranked that high. I mean, played like as a legit top 5 team. We can discuss that a little more in depth as we go ahead and take a look at our new top 25 and who we think the real top 5 teams in the nation are.
Got Ohio State, of course, being number 1 in the AP poll, followed by Oregon and Miami. Rounding it up in the top 5, though, Ole Miss at 4 and Oklahoma at 5. I like that top 5 a lot right there.
Ole Miss has arguably been a top 5 team in the league this year.
Easily. With a backup quarterback that he better continue starting because you got a freaking Heisman case on that kid already 5 weeks into the season. That's another thing I got pulled up. I want to see who we think after the 5 weeks into the season, who do we think's the top guys for the Heisman? But at 6 is Texas A&M. Following their loss, Penn State drops to 7 in the country, followed by Indiana, Texas at 9, and Alabama rounding out the top 10. Texas Tech in at 11, though, above Georgia and LSU, which I like there following their losses. So Georgia at 12, LSU at 13, Iowa State at 14. A bit controversial, honestly. I feel like you might be able to rank them higher than maybe LSU here.
They didn't move, and I'm like, that was a pretty dominant win. I could make the case that you could put them above Georgia and LSU. They got a high quality win against a division opponent.
Yep.
On a different continent, way across the ocean there. Beat a rival at home. Like I think they're just kind of holding the fact that they were in a dogfight with Iowa, and then the Arkansas State game wasn't a huge blowout. They're holding that against them, but I just, that was a little bit of attrition. They just had a really long stretch to the season, but they come out of this bye week looking really well rested, and put the hurt on Arizona. But I guess I can see the argument that K-State hasn't looked great, and so it's like, have they really played somebody?
We're waiting for maybe more fierce competitor to play against them. But again, down at 15, 4-1 Tennessee Volunteers, followed by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech. Why not put them higher than Tennessee right here? So you got Vandy at 16, Georgia Tech at 17. Two undefeated teams.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, a couple of big wins over. I think they went into Colorado, beat CU, you beat Clemson. Guess they're holding that, just squeaking out of Wake Forest against them, and then Vanderbilt. Went into South Carolina. I know Sellers got hurt, but they just dominated them regardless. big win over an ACC school in Virginia Tech. So interesting. But I guess I'm okay that Georgia and LSU are still ahead of them because LSU's got a couple of big high quality wins. Georgia did still beat Tennessee. So I can see, Tennessee being below them.
Yeah.
As well.
Florida State, Seminoles take a huge hit, drop down 10 spots in the AP poll, go to 18th in the country after that loss.
If they're not careful,
wow.
I mean, depending on how this Miami game goes, slight chance that they're out of the top 25, which would be just
2-week swing. Going to top 10, being out of it.
To think, But I mean, if it gets ugly in that game, I don't know. I could just see the voters not being kind to them and casting them out, as a 3-3 team. They got Missouri down there below them at 19. I
feel like that's kind of disrespectful.
I think Missouri, you could put them. I think they could be top 15, man.
I think 19 is kind of disrespectful.
Big win on the road or in the border war, neutral site against Kansas, who's a very, very good Big 12 school. They'll probably make a bowl game. Big win over South Carolina. Again, I guess that's who have you played, but I could put them above. I mean, really, I could put them above Florida, above Georgia Tech, above Vandy, maybe even above Tennessee. They've been good. Let's see who they got coming up next here, because they got Alabama, not next weekend, but they're on their bye this week. But then after that, they have Bama, so that's
good preparation going into a big game.
I mean,
they have a chance to win that one.
Sucks for Bama because you're gonna have two. You don't get any rest between them, so you're gonna get Vanderbilt coming off a great offensive performance.
And Missouri just well rested off a bye.
Yeah, Missouri well rested.
Red hot Missouri team. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is pretty unfair to say that all the undefeated teams should be higher ranking than all the teams that have losses right now. But there is some undefeated teams I feel like are being a little bit underappreciated in these rankings right now.
So
but we're only 5 weeks in.
Sure, they haven't played maybe what you consider, they don't have as big of wins over some teams as some of these other guys. But I mean, all of their wins are very quality, very impressive wins.
Yeah,
especially Mizzou. Number 20, we got Michigan 3-1. I'm okay with that. I think Michigan we're going to see drop out of the top 25.
It's within due time.
Bryce Underwood's still too much of a developmental project.
So they got some growing pains.
And I mean, it's just if you can stop the run with that team, their offense kind of just disappears. Notre Dame.
But you got yourself freaking an insane dual threat. Guy looks like freaking Batman out there. Just work out the kinks with Bryce Underwood, and that
I think he could really be a future Heisman candidate for sure. But it's just not there yet. It's still a bit of a project. Notre Dame at 21, and fair. They deserve to be in here. I mean, those two just gut-wrenching, back-breaking losses to now top 6 schools who are ranked top 25 at the time that they beat them. So, and then you get out of there, and then they just get some lesser opponents absolutely dominate. So it's clearly Notre Dame, just a couple of different things maybe going their way, could potentially be a 4-0 team. And it's I know they're 2-2, but I could kind of still consider them a top 5 team in the country. It's just a couple of bad breaks and some mental errors. It was not really they were ever bad in those 2 losses. It just didn't go their way. And I mean, they played a gauntlet to open the season. So
this AP poll is extremely unkind. And just really you can't make any mistakes in the season for the AP poll, man.
It's better than the coaches pool because, like, tell me why Utah is in this thing.
Yeah,
at
Utah,
25. Come on.
and you see how the top majority of these top schools, all SEC and Big Ten schools, all the way up until you get to Iowa State at 12. The coaches poll is pretty unfair.
I don't care, man. Down at number 22,
Illinois.
Fair to keep them there because bad blowout loss, but
This is
That's
probably
a
the
really
most
good
fair
bounce back.
ranking that we got.
yeah, for sure. They just go up one spot. Fair for that. BYU, I mean, jumping them up 2 spots to 23, I guess kind of makes sense because you got 2 newcomers giving them the final 2 spots. So a good win on the road against Colorado. But I mean, I'm just not really convinced. I mean, the quarterback wears number 47. That's disgusting. And so I just don't. I think, and that aside, I just don't see a super high quality team here. Competitive, sure, but I mean, Colorado is definitely their toughest opponent here. This stretch where they're going to get Utah, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and then even TCU. I'm like in Iowa State at Texas Tech. I mean, I think just wait until then. You'll see BYU for who they truly are. I just think they're a little overrated.
Yeah. And that is our coverage of the top 25.
Virginia,
but I want to hear
A-State,
everyone's.
the newcomers this week.
Yeah, they're the newcomers in Arizona State. I feel like they had to fight a little bit to get back in there, but still a pretty solid team. Most well-coached team in the Big 12. But I want to hear everyone's thoughts. All the viewers, everyone tuning in, HG. After week 5, some Heisman candidates I'm going to throw out there. Some names. Julian Sayin, Ohio State. It's a pretty obvious one. Jeremiah Smith. Pretty obvious one there.
Great quarterback receiver tandem at Ohio State, but tearing it up this year.
But it's some sneaky guys. Maeva. I think the production already. They might not have the greatest season, but hey, Jaden Danielson got himself a Heisman on LSU when they didn't have the best year. So, I mean, the production is there for this kid. He's clearly the best player on the team.
Yeah, like that team's success doesn't necessarily factor in a huge amount
Yep.
to the Heisman, and Maeva definitely puts up stats.
And with that being said, guy putting up stats, Ty Simpson is definitely got to be in the conversation with the numbers he's putting up.
Fox Sports has him at plus 1,000 to win it. Yeah, I don't hate that. I mean, he's looked really impressive. I just like he looks very in command back there, and he's genuinely pretty accurate, and I mean it gets that offense humming. So tough stretch. We'll see how will he be able to. I mean, I think if he can put up some big numbers against some of these teams he's got in that tough stretch, definitely gonna jump him up a lot more. Top 2 guys, Carson Beck. That makes a lot of sense. Dante Moore, though, taking over the top spot after that big win. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. Oregon's an offensive system that just is going to generate a lot of stats for you, especially if you're the quarterback.
Some other front runners right now. Indiana's Fernando Mendoza.
Kind of like that. He's been playing pretty well.
John Mateer, even. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss could be one of the names we could be talking about here soon.
I see Diego Pavia on
Marcel
the list here.
Reed.
Great, some good dual threat quarterbacks there. Arch Manning, Gunnar Stockton. I don't see it. Again, Sam Levitt, I think, is just too inconsistent. Finds ways to win games. Same with like Haynes King, where it's like they find ways to win, but it isn't always like pretty.
It's not the prettiest.
CJ Carr, Jeremiah Love, both down there. I mean, yeah, certainly possible for those guys to start. I think Love, I would put him a little ahead of Carr. A lot of big names on here. Who are you guys leaning to for Heisman? I mean, who do you like? Give me give me who you think is likely to win it, and then throw out like a fun dark horse. I still think like Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he's just insane. I really think there's a good chance that he wins it, especially like he's gonna get some big primetime games against some top, defensive talent in the country. And I mean, like if he shows out and stats it up in those games, I mean, like he's gonna just soar up in the favorites right now. But yeah, I mean, like a fun for me, somebody that I could see definitely flying under the radar, a little bit of a dark horse candidate. I mean, I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Love. I mean, I just like he's so explosive, and I think like Notre Dame is gonna. They know they got to win a lot of games. They're gonna play like their brand of football, which is smash mouth, run the ball a lot. Just a lot of opportunities for him to tear up some teams. I mean, they're not playing a ton of extremely difficult defenses the rest of the season. I mean, I know they got USC coming up as one of their matchups, which when I saw USC give up a ton of points, and it's like some of the other guys. I mean, they get Boise, NC State, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. I mean, dude, like he could run roughshod over all those teams.
Yeah.
So I'll throw Jeremiah Love as a little dark horse Heisman candidate. What about you, Caveman?
Dark horse candidate for me. I hope that this guy stays in and just keeps on statting it up, and Ole Miss has a great year. I want to throw in Trinidad Chambliss into that list.
Dude, love it.
I mean, 450 yards per game and passing and on the ground.
He's looked like a Heisman, dude.
Dude is statting it up and playing against some solid teams already.
Against some quality opponents. Yeah, for sure. Then
if he keeps the starting job.
Who are some of those guys at the top of the list that you think have a more obvious favorite, but that you're leaning towards?
Well, honestly, John Mateer. Oklahoma could be real sneaky in the SEC this year. Really, really sneaky. We haven't seen him play any of the top dogs yet right now, but I feel like he very well could be statting it up for the rest of this year.
Well, let's take a look ahead to next week. Who do we got?
Or also Dante Moore. Don't forget about that guy.
All right. Well, there's some of the big matchups that we got going on next week that you should keep your eye on. I mean, Texas, Florida, be interesting to see how Texas is looking coming out of that bye. Vanderbilt, Alabama, rather. Big game there. And the SEC.
25 matchup.
Bigger game for Vandy, really, I think, than Bama, man. Like it's Bama's gonna certainly remember what you did to them last year. Huge ACC matchup: Louisville, Virginia. Louisville hosting there. Virginia. I mean, it's time to see if you're legit, and I think like it's Louisville could be time for them to make a statement. So keep your eyes on that one. Big 12 matchup. Didn't mean to say big that many times. Sorry, folks. Texas Tech and Houston. That's a tough road matchup for Texas Tech here. Cougars looking to potentially play a little spoiler there. Keep an eye on that one. We've got Miami and Florida State. Massive implications in this one. Going to be all eyes on that one for sure. And I mean, A&M and Mississippi State could be A&M looking to get a bounce back. But Mississippi State took Tennessee down to the wire, has played some spoiler for some teams. So those are some of your big matchups in the top 25 next week.
Definitely been a great year for college football, though, I would say. We've had a lot of upsets in these first 4 weeks. The carnage and chaos is here. I mean, we're in tune for a good season. top 12 is going to shake up in this playoff, and the carnage and the chaos will continue. Stay tuned.
We're going to be here all year, riding this crazy wave with y'all. Stay tuned. We got a busy Sunday of NFL action to cover when we get back for Till the Final Whistle Football Frenzy, presented by Military Broadcast Radio.
Motorcycle wheels and highway dust, and the meaning of in God we trust. Faded tattoos of the stars and stripes, and the courage to stand and fight.
Penalty on YOU. Delay of game. 5 seconds before the show. But hey, thanks for watching.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, and I actually have a special report. Dick grew 2 inches this offseason. Grady Dick is now listed at 6'8" after growing 2 inches in the offseason. Let's go. He grew.
It got bigger. That's crazy.
Great headline I just saw. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook.
Yeah, that misleading, man. You got like millions of guys hope so. They just tried to dash it all out, realizing it wasn't true. All right. Getting a little off topic there. Thank you for that little joke there, Caveman. NFL Week 4 has come and gone.
Gotta make a joke because my team's playing like a joke.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, buddy. It's rough. Can't tell you that
our most consistent player hasn't even won a game in the league. What's going on?
What are you gonna do? The Saints having a tough go of it. Busy Week 4 of the NFL season. Let's get down to the rundown. Thursday Night Football, defensive showdown in the desert. Seahawks come away with a win over the Cardinals, 23-20. In Dublin, the Vikings coming back to conquer Ireland. Perk Rogers had other plans. He makes his return, 24-21. Steelers win. Commanders and Falcons. Falcons do a complete 180 from last week and are just humming on all cylinders on offense. London gets a touchdown. Bijan gets a touchdown. Algier gets a touchdown. Kyle Pitts gets a touchdown. Falcons win 34-27. The Saints honestly gave the Bills a bit of a scare. I mean, they were
played them close,
hanging in there for a minute.
It was 19-21 with like 8 minutes left in the fourth. The Bills only had one timeout. We just couldn't get a stop.
And they ended up scoring 10 fourth quarter points, pull away, and win 31-19. Bills 4-0 on the season. Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions. Well, the Browns did not surprise and shock another offense this week. Jahmyr Gibbs took care of it on the ground. Amon-Ra through the air, and some special teams plays coming in big. Punt return for a touchdown by Khalif Raymond. Detroit gets a 34-10 home win. Panthers also doing a complete 180 from the week before, shutting the Falcons down on offense. Their defense was nowhere to be found in Foxborough against Drake May and the Patriots. Patriots routing Carolina 42-13, getting back to 500. All right, well, the undefeated Chargers, who were playing lights out all season, their defense is absolutely cooking against the bumbling Giants, giving their quarterback Jackson Dart his first ever career start, going about as well as you'd expect. Yeah, we'd all expected Jackson Dart to come in there and pull out a 21-18 win over
That's
the
what
Colts.
we thought. Yeah, that's what we thought would happen.
We all saw that coming. For every other team, it was week 4 for the Giants, week 1. New season starting right now. It's the Jackson Dart era.
Yeah.
Off to a W. The Eagles and the Buccaneers. Jalen Hurts is a terrorist, a passing game terrorist, but despite that, his team is 4-0 as they get a big road win, 31-25 over the Buccaneers. All right. The Booty Bowl. The Titans and Texans, 2 0-3 teams squaring off. Houston finally getting some stuff going. 20 fourth quarter points. Finally get something going. It only took them hanging near 16 quarters of football to get it going, but they got it going. They win 26-0. Tennessee on the fast track to the number 1 overall pick again. All right, we got the Colts and the Rams. Indiana Jones versus Matty Stafford. It was a battle of some Titans here, but Stafford wholeheartedly outplayed Daniel Jones and came up with the big touchdown in the final minutes to seal the win, 27-20. Colts get their first loss of the season. Rams 3-1. Jacksonville Jaguars were going into Santa Clara to play the undefeated 49ers. Big game on the ground by ETN and some huge plays by a rising defensive star. And I mean, I'm going to say it. Dark horse DPOY candidate Devin Lloyd helped Jacksonville come out with a 26-21 win.
Had a crazy game.
Baltimore is officially in trouble. The offense stagnant, didn't look great. The defense still terrible. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy back in that lineup, starting to return to form maybe. Bad news for the rest of the league. Chiefs with a commanding 37-20 win over the Ravens. And our final game of the afternoon slot, the Chicago Bears, fresh off a big win over the Dallas Cowboys.
Blow out the Cowboys and then going
on the road.
Field goal.
Big special teams plays. Caleb Williams making some clutch plays down the stretch. Get a big 25-24 win to get back to 500 on the year. And on Sunday Night Football, game of the week, absolute thriller, back and forth. Dak couldn't be stopped. Love couldn't be stopped. Josh Jacobs couldn't be stopped. George Pickens couldn't be stopped. Nobody could be stopped. Romeo Doubs couldn't be stopped.
Until overtime.
The only thing that could be stopped was the clock. And it finally struck zeros at the end of overtime with a 40-40 tie. First time we've had a tie in I don't even know how many years, and I'm hate ties. I'm not a big tie person.
No fan base is satisfied after this one. Packers fans can't even rub it in Jerry's face that they got the win with Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys fans can't even say, we got it done without Micah. So no one is even satisfied. They just walk out of here with just stats.
That's kind of the beautiful irony of a tie is that while nobody loses, nobody walks away from that happy. Not the teams, not the fans.
You're just exhausted and you get nothing from it.
Not the neutral fans that don't have any rooting interest. Nobody gets anything from a tie.
No.
Then we come to Monday Night Football. We had a doubleheader.
Yeah, actually, you know who got something from the tie? Caveman did, because I bet the tie in the fourth quarter. I got $40.
And Scoregami lovers got something from the tie. 40-40 tie is Scoregami. That has never happened before in NFL history. So something a little positive to take away from that game. Monday Night Football, the Dolphins finally get their first win of the season. Mike McDaniels might have saved his job for a little longer, but they kind of had to sacrifice Tyreek Hill's knee in the process to get a 27-20 win. Final score makes it look a little closer than it was. Dolphins were in command for most of this game. And then speaking of in command, my Denver Broncos, gave up 3 points on the Bengals opening drive and then just dominated them the rest of the game. I think we saw Cincinnati quit on Zach Taylor in the real time in this game. The Broncos seemingly could do no wrong for most of this game, aside from, one missed deep pass and a red zone interception. But they come away with a big 28-3 win.
That's what happens when you spend your entire bankroll on 3 guys. Well, 4, because they signed Trey Hendrickson. But they spent all their money on 4 people. And this is the struggles of it.
Yeah. This is Caveman and all those viewers watching at home. Got a lot of games to get into. Where would you like to start?
I gotta say it. I am freaking absolutely. I don't know who. Brian's what's his first name? Staley. For used to coach the Chargers.
Oh, Brandon
Staley, the new defensive coordinator for the Saints. I'm so tired of watching your scheme, man. It's terrible. Like, the fact that we have Cameron Jordan and Carl Granderson dropping back into coverage just makes absolutely no sense. That's why we lost this game, because we have Carl Granderson dropping back into coverage and Dalton Kincaid sneaking up on a wheel route wide open for a touchdown up the sideline.
Right.
We got a fat guy out in his zone.
Well, and correct me if I'm
defense.
wrong, but he was playing that like he had safety help over the top, and the safeties the safety over there immediately
bailed from that spot. Yeah.
Bailed to the middle of the deep middle of the field.
Immediately.
Was nowhere even near it. So
I'm just exhausted watching that.
Bad coaching. Guys don't know, who's got what assignment.
Like watching.
Big reason why team is 0-4 at this point in the season.
If we had the personnel to be running a defensive scheme like that, if we had an insanely athletic group of edge rushers that we could put out in coverage like an outside linebacker like that, but we got pretty much a 40-year-old fat guy and then Carl Granderson, a fat guy. Like they have no use in coverage other than just keeping things in front of us. And at the same time, it's just not working when it's guys that are just there. Carl Granderson is pass rusher and a run stuffer. We got to just let him do that. All right. We're giving our rookies a chance. Jonas Sanker with the pick. We're not making any trades right now to try and get like a veteran on our defense. Give the young guys an opportunity. Isaac Iadom was not on the field for this game too. I was so happy to see that. Got Quincy Riley in the game in this one. So we're making the right steps, but putting those two guys into coverage is just a freaking terrible decision.
A real emphasis on wanting to run the football this week too. $189 on the ground on 34 carries.
And we mixed it up. Half that's Kendre Miller getting like 70, 80 yards.
Also, like Kendre Miller, that guy needs more touches. He was looking really good. I don't think the Bills' run defense is any slouch. I mean, they still got Ed Oliver there in the middle. I mean, there's certainly.
He was actually out for this one.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
that's right, he was. So that did help a little bit there too. But I think like a guy like Greg Rousseau is still pretty good against the run. I mean, you got like AJ Epineza there in the middle of the field. Is he? What's his name? Matt Milano. I think he's still hurt. So that does.
He was also out.
Yeah,
that was a big help for us. They were two of their best defensive players were out.
So I mean, good game planning there offensively by Kellen Moore. And, who's your guys' OC now?
Let me see, honestly.
I just kind of think Kellen Moore is taking the play call. But yeah, I mean.
It's mainly Kellen Moore doing most of our play calling.
Right.
But I want to see
that your receivers are probably going to struggle getting open against this Bills secondary.
It's Doug Nussmeier.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. Right. Quarterback's coach for the Eagles. So pretty much just bringing over some help.
Exploiting where some of the Bills' weaknesses on defense was with those injuries there. Yeah, did a good job. I mean, Rattler, 126 in the air is nothing impressive, but hey,
he's the most consistent player on our team.
I think,
and he hasn't even won a game.
Really, what kind of killed you guys and took away any chance of like pulling off that upset? Tried to run that Philly special and it got picked off.
Yeah, that was just dumb. We ran a Philly special into triple coverage. They knew exactly what we were doing.
Right. I mean, credit to Cole Bishop. He wasn't quite in position. Like
he made a play on that ball.
It was an incredible catch to get that. And then Buffalo. Again, like it's a little weird. Like Allen's not having big numbers. I mean, James Cook ran rough shot through your guys' defense, and Allen picked up 45 on the ground and the touchdown. Plus, he had two through the air. I feel like the Bills kind of just like are playing around the level of their opponent and not trying to like they're playing just well enough to come away with the win without having to do anything.
They got to get out there,
too crazy,
get on the gas in one of these games and just go and set the tempo. Like this, I feel like the only reason the Saints had a chance is because we were able to kind of play at our strengths. So like we were able to get that quick game going.
I really think you guys are a well-coached team. You're lacking on like extreme talent in a lot of areas.
It's literally all it is. We have the wrong guys doing the right things. That's why I think Kellen Moore is going to be an elite coach.
Like
he's got Spencer Rattler. Second-year quarterback with no wins. We don't even huddle. We do quick game the whole way down the field.
He's certainly got something going there with Rattler for sure. I mean, he he made people think Jalen Hurts was a top 5 quarterback and got him to win the Super Bowl. So, like,
this Jalen Hurts slander, HG.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna talk about that game next. I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to add here.
Saints suck.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Bills have a real shot to be 7-0 by the time they host the Chiefs, because their next games. Patriots could be tough, but that's a home game for them. And they got to go to Atlanta, to Carolina. But I think, they should take care of those two teams. A couple of primetime games coming up for them. Then, the time they play the Chiefs on my birthday, actually.
Hey.
Awesome birthday win if you beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Come on, Josh Allen. We know you're watching.
7-0 playing Kansas City. Then you beat them, be 8-0, and then potentially 9-0 by the time you get another real test in Tampa Bay. Home game where they could win that. I think they'll probably lose, but they're better than a lot of these teams, like Texans, Steelers. After that, those are road games, but they're much better teams there. The Bengals are in shambles. Maybe the Patriots get one of them at home. A tough defense like the Browns. I honestly think Josh Allen, the Eagles are a better team, but Josh Allen's the better quarterback by a mile, by a continent. He's a better quarterback by a continent than Jalen Hurts, which could be, and it's a home game where they could play the Eagles. I'm not don't entirely rule out the possibility of Buffalo undefeated season or a 1-loss season, somewhere around there, dude.
They need to just put BTA to one of these teams, though, coming up before they play the Chiefs.
It's just kind of interesting.
They're going to get shocked by the Chiefs.
Yeah, they did not really get a tough schedule for being a first-place team.
I know.
It's just kind of crazy. But, I'm talking bad crap about Jalen Hurts. I'm going to get into why. First of all, I got A.J. Brown in fantasy football, and this guy does not.
So do I. MBR league. You ain't doing
it. Is enraging me because A.J. Brown, when you were throwing it to him against the Rams, he was
going crazy.
They had no answers for him, dude. And that was the offense for the Eagles that looked all year because he was forced to throw the ball to him. Jalen Hurts, this guy's not an elite quarterback. Your team puts up 31 points and you win on the road despite you not completing a pass in the second half. He was 0 for 8 for 0 yards in the second half. He did not complete a pass in the second half, and they won the game.
The first half, I would say, was pretty good
sorry.
for him, but the second half, you're right.
No,
he didn't.
You think Patrick Mahomes gets a win if he doesn't complete a pass in the second half? You think Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, you think any of those guys?
He's just got the squad. He's just got the squad.
The Eagles are the Avengers crossing universes and teaming up with the Justice League, bro.
They're every comic universe.
You got you've got you've got Superman's, Green Lanterns, Thor's, Hulk's, Iron Man's, Batman's, and then Jalen Hurts is there as Jimmy Olsen, bro.
Hey guys, there, hanging out.
Jalen Hurts, he's just there as the arms fall off guy. What's his name? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Only 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, but those were essentially handoffs to Dallas Goedert. It
was on the fake tush pushes.
The one where they set up a screen, and I gotta stand up for this because he doesn't even throw it like a typical screen. He underhand pitches it. He's watch this. He goes that. That's how he threw a touchdown pass, was tossing it over to a guy like that on the screen, and then Goddard breaks 2 tackles to get into the end zone. And then the other one was just a little shovel pass towards Goddard, and the Eagles offensive line just parted the Red Sea.
Powers through everybody.
Yeah, he just walked in, and then they ran a fake tush push to get Saquon a touchdown. He's great with his legs, but he does not consistently have to play well. It's it's just kind of dumbfounding that his stats aren't even better because he's behind an elite offensive line. You'd think with like the pockets that he has, he would still put up some numbers. And now, Brown's pissed. He's tweeting some stuff on X.
I've seen it.
Throwing some shade.
Dude, their offense looks completely different without Kellen Moore, though. Like, they don't look nearly as successful as they did last year. Like, Saquon,
thank God
love him, but he's not even going to come close to where his rushing yards were last year.
Dude, thank God they were able to keep what's his name? Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator. And then they lucked out in getting Jihad Campbell. That guy's already playing like a
yeah, he got the pick in this one.
Yeah, already playing like a star. Andre Makuba, he also coming in like right away, just into the starting lineup, not even missing a beat there. And you lose some guys on the edge in Sweat, Milton Williams. Josh Uche comes in, Moro Ojomo, they just all the even guys that you haven't even really heard about. Zadarius Smith is there, just adding pass rush.
Yeah, they just have depth and just have people.
I mean, Howie Roseman is the one above all, and he just.
That's the Nick Fury of this universe.
That's
shows up.
That's God. That's like God in Marvel. That's who the one above all is. That's what Howie Roseman's doing. He just keeps getting the pieces. I mean, 4-0. Dude, I'm convinced that the Eagles could probably still win the Super Bowl with me at quarterback.
Yeah.
At this point, bro.
You know what, NFL? Let's try it out. 1 week. Let H.G start.
Let's test that. I mean, dude, I can probably throw checkdowns and hand the ball off to Saquon all game while my defense carries me. I don't think I'll be getting sacked a whole lot behind this offensive line. I'm on a bit of a rant about it. I don't know.
They're just one of those teams, man. They win, and
people really. There's a lot of discourse around Jalen Hurts, and I'm like, I was just looking at it. He's not doing, most games, he's not doing what the other elite quarterbacks are doing. And there's no problem in you just managing the game. And I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over. He protects the football. Does a good job of that. Doesn't put his team in a bad situation. But it's just the special teams and the defense are making such huge plays. I mean, second week in a row, they got a block for a touchdown. They've blocked 2 field goals the week before, ran one back for a touchdown, blocked a punt for a touchdown to get on the board, and then defense forces a 3-and-out right after that, and then they're able to put a drive together, go and get a touchdown, so you got a 14-0 lead.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. Bucks almost came back in this one, though.
They did. So we'll see who's got the key to beating Philadelphia. I think the key is going to be, can you force them to have some turnovers? Because I mean, on the season, I'm going to go to their team stats here. I mean, they don't really have. Hurts hasn't thrown an interception. They've lost 1 fumble all year, it looks like, if I'm reading this right. So they've got they fumbled it 4 times. They've only lost 1. They're getting huge plays on special teams. Their defense is limiting opponents, or only surrendering points once the offense has been able to build a big enough cushion. It's just unreal what this Eagles team can do. But Jalen Hurts, he's not top 5. He's not top 10. I'm sorry. I know he beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but he got Mahomes just got dominated by a 4-man pass rush and everything. I had to get on my soapbox about that. Hurts is, he's enraging me a little extra because of what he's doing to A.J. Brown. I'm just going to be honest. That's the fantasy manager in me coming out. So where are you where do you rank Jalen Hurts? Because I've been going off on the guy. His team is winning football games.
I got him pretty high just because of that.
Right.
Man, I think last year's Super Bowl outplayed Mahomes. At the end of the season last year, with the right play calling from Kellen Moore, they opened up their passing game. And they've opened it enough, I think, just to win the games. That's really all they're doing.
I think he's an elite game manager, but I mean, put him on the Saints. Do the Saints do they have any wins, or are they still 0-4?
Probably 2.
Probably 2. Oh, I mean, I think they'd still be 0-4. I'm not gonna lie.
We probably beat the Cardinals, and we probably beat the Niners.
Maybe.
I think
I'm just not seeing it. I don't see it. I don't think he would. I don't think it would be any different with Hurts or Rattler back there if you gave him that exact same roster. Jalen, I would love for you to prove me wrong too, but like the first 4 weeks of the season have been a rough watch if you're a fan of good quarterback play. All right, I'm hung up on that one for a while. We're gonna move on to Thursday night out in the desert there. That Seahawks defense, man, this Seahawks team, they might just be legit. A good 1-2 punch of K-Walk and Zach Charbonnet. I like that defense under Mike McDonald. Boy, do you think Baltimore misses that guy?
Yeah, they just got to stop. They just got to stop not trying in the fourth quarter. They kind of let Arizona back into this one and just
took their foot off the gas a bit.
And then right when they needed to, got exactly how many yards they needed to get the 52-yard. Jason Myers go out there and boot the 52-yarder to win it.
All right. They got 2 interceptions in this one. Myers was hitting smelling salts before that field goal, getting 6 sacks in this game as well. JSN, I mean, the Cardinals just committed heavy to containing him, and then late in the game, I mean, they gave him like some one-on-one opportunities, and he just burned. What was that guy's name? Max Melton, I think.
Which was, I mean, a primo matchup for him. You kind of have to put as many guys as possible when you don't really have like too high of a number one corner on your team. Because JSN, his route running is just too clean. He is just too precise. He's just too precise with it. He's getting away from anyone.
This Cardinals offense, man, they are suffering from a lack of effort, dude. Like, I don't even think Murray is necessarily being that bad. I mean,
he threw it to the right window.
Where's
Marvin Harrison going? He stopped running. The heck?
I can like the one where he stopped running the route. I can kind of, if somebody was showing the all 22 view of that, and you can think like with a quarterback like Murray who scrambles a lot, like Harrison saw the pocket maybe breaking down and thought Murray was going to scramble, and so his thought was to break it upfield to try to give Murray a place to go, and instead Murray was anticipating him to keep coming on that route. But then the other one was in his hands. And he just bobbled it straight to the
defense. He dropped it. It hit him right in the shoulder pads.
Like, this Arizona offense is going to significantly hold back this defense. Like, if they could just, I mean, I don't know who their OC is. They need some better coaching. Like, whoever it is needs to be fired. They need a new play caller there, because it's just not, they just don't look well coached. I mean, like, Murray is just running for his life, and it's like guys are running their route for the most part and then just kind of stopping. It's like, all right, I'm running the hook. Like, I ran my 10 yards and turned. Like, I'm staying here. Like, you're covered, dude. And the Seahawks are getting pressure. Like, move. Like, give your quarterback somewhere to go.
It is Drew Petzing.
Drew Petzing needs to be fired, because if you look at the Cardinals defense, you look at the way they play and who some of the guys they got on here, the way they can generate pressure, dude, they got some dogs. Like, mean, they brought in Josh Sweat. Calais Campbell's still playing at a super high level there on that defensive line. Dalvin Tomlinson's very great against the run. Baron Browning, he's got electric speed off the edge. And then, I mean, in this secondary and this linebacking core, dude, like Jalen Thompson, he's a really good player. Akeem Davis-Gaither. Mac Wilson's been like a revelation for him. You still got Buda Baker, Denzel Burke. I really like Xavion Collins. I think is a super underrated player. Like, and if you watch like the Cardinals defense play, like this is a good defense. They have a ton of speed. Jonathan Gannon's a good defensive mind. They're well coached on that end, and they make some big plays. It's tough for teams to move the football on, but the offense does them no favors most of the time.
It's honestly a proving year for Petzing. It's his third year in the NFL. He's one of the youngest offensive coordinators, least experienced. He's kind of been on those prove it deals like every season, because last year, turnovers, lack of scoring, just overall no protection for Kyler Murray. And this year, it is kind of the same thing, where like turnovers,
I mean,
lack of scoring.
They're not great on the offensive line. That's for sure. I think also Cardinals didn't have a ton of penalties, but man, when they did get penalized, it was like it would just turn like a third and short into a third and medium to long, or it would wipe out a good play, bail out the Seattle when they had a bad play. Just a lot of issues there. I don't feel bad. Again, I think he's going to get fired, but he really did a good job on that defense. But they just, maybe with the Bosa injury, they can finish above the 49ers, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
All right. Going to Dublin now.
Dude, freaking Steelers.
Steelers and Vikings.
Fraudulent team, dude. You almost got beat by freaking Carson Wentz.
Wentz was, despite throwing 2 picks, just
going crazy.
Statting it, bro. 350 and 2 tutties. Those you just had to be a little more careful with the ball there. Jordan Addison,
he got pressured a lot.
Looking a little slow in his return. I mean, he got a wide open pass and he got hawked down by, who was that? That got hawked down by Peyton Wilson. Sorry. Jettas, man. I think you keep what's his face in the Wentz, because despite the pressure kind of making them give the ball away,
you're in these games with Wentz.
The offense, like he's pretty confident with it, and he's like he'll throw to the left side of the field. Jefferson, Addison, they're both back. I think like he's just going to give you a much better chance to win. Hawkinson, probably one of the most involved he's been in a game this season, aside from getting the touchdown last week. Yeah, Rodgers, man, super accurate, 18 to 22, only 200 yards, and 80 of those came on that touchdown to DK Metcalf, where Metcalf did most of the work. Nice to see him finally have a good game in the black and gold, though. 5 catches for 126 and a touchdown. But, dude, Kenneth Gainwell, man. You think Jalen Warren going down, this Caleb Johnson's time? Nah, people be forgetting about Kenny Gainwell. Great name for a running back. His last name's literally Gainwell. Like,
he was pretty solid in the receiving game, too.
Yeah,
35 in the receiving.
He was
he's kind
a big chunk of their offense. 99 on the ground, 2 touchdowns.
I think they just got to use him as just like a utility guy and try to work with one of the signings. I mean,
this is how the
Warren got injured.
Yeah.
So I figured, hey, maybe Caleb Johnson might get an opportunity, but
I think they're just going to win games by letting Gainwell carry the rock, having Rodgers make some big throws when they need it, and just play in defense. Like it's going to be some old school Steelers football, but I think it's going to be effective for them.
That's been the formula for however long, and they continue to have winning records and somehow make the playoffs.
3-1, man. They keep finding ways to win games. So
it's been the formula, man. That's why they've only had 3 head coaches?
Pretty much, yeah. Good win for them in Dublin. Minnesota has to stay out there because they're playing in London next week, so they're staying across the pond, training out there as the Browns come over to take.
That early game confused me. I forgot it was even happening this week.
Yeah, I unfortunately can't really watch the early games. I got to get off of work and when they're overseas, I get off of work and sleep for like 4-ish hours before I get up for the 11 o'clock kickoffs. Now, there's a lot of caffeine and power through the days, but I do it because I
gotta watch.
I want to be able to give you guys insightful looks into the game.
I was able to get some seniority at my job to just have Sundays off so I could watch the games.
Do envy you there. All right, well, we're talking about the Browns. They got to go to London. They're going to be coming off a tough loss on the road to the Lions.
And they freaking stink.
Yeah. Quinshon Judkins, man.
He looked good.
Certainly looking like the RB1 down there in Cleveland now for sure.
I'm just seeing how deflated though, Joe Flacco.
Yeah,
Flacco, they need to put in another quarterback as soon as possible.
Take him out behind the woodshed and put him out of his misery, man. Why
There's
is Joe Flacco
motivation.
still playing? He does not look like he wants to play. He's just, it was a rough 184 yards, no touchdowns,
and
2
picks.
interceptions.
One of them, he didn't. There was only the only person that was near that pass on the second interception was Kirby Joseph.
I mean, he threw that. That would have been intentional grounding if it didn't get intercepted.
Yeah,
there wasn't a Browns player.
There was no one near
on that side of the field.
He just threw it. The whole entire play was on the right side of the field, and he just chucked it out of bounds to the left where Kirby Joseph was.
There was not a single person and that Browns player in that zip code. The goofer, Jared Goff, game manager mode, didn't have to do a ton. Did have an interception, but he also threw 2 touchdowns. So we'll take it. We'll take it, Jared. An interception against a good defense is all right. Gibbs just carving up the Browns on the ground, 91 yards in the touchdown, 6.1 per carry. God, that 1-2 punch of Montgomery's and Gibbs is still just so good. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, my front runner for Offensive Player of the Year, dude. Through 4 games, he's got 6 touchdowns, 307 yards, 27 receptions. When we get to this game later, I'll tell you my other POY, but it's 2 receivers that are just putting up some insane stats. And dude, he's just, this is kind of crazy to say. I saw this online, but somebody was saying like Ben Johnson's system coach, because I mean, the creativity and the play calling, right? It's for the Lions is still there. So like, it makes you think like, how much is Dan Campbell actually involved in these play calls? Because I don't even remember who the new guy is.
But it's like offensively,
but I mean,
the decision making last year was like going for it. That was him.
Right.
That wasn't Ben Johnson's doing.
Right. They're still doing that. They're still doing it at a high level, and they're getting some big special teams play. I mean, Khalif Raymond, what a luxury they have back there. That guy ran a punt back for a touchdown in this game. Where's their 4th down efficiency? Only went for a 1s in this one, actually. 0 for 1. They didn't even get it. But, yeah, I mean, like, it's a pretty – that special teams play was huge because the point that came at –
it was a pretty close game.
In the 4th, and it was, it was a 10-point game at that point, and that just pretty much – that really sealed it for them there. That just kind of – took the wind out of the Browns' sails because they were playing them pretty evenly throughout this whole matchup. And that's just a broader side. This special teams have been such a huge factor this year. And I think a big thing that it's going back to is the dynamic kickoffs. Like, you got to practice that more because that field position switch that you can have there.
Teams got good strategy with it now.
And so, like, there were this article from CBS Sports. They were saying it's like you don't have as much time to work on things like field goal protection, punt coverage, punt block, or punt protection. And when you're punting the ball, and that's why we're seeing these a lot more of these swing momentum plays. I'm kind of all for it. Like, I like that it's really putting a huge emphasis on special teams, man. And like how, like a big special teams play
It's
is
not a forgotten art.
super exciting, and it gives guys a chance that don't get to get on the field a lot. It gives them a chance to make a big play, to impact the game. You know, like Sidney Brown, like who ran the touchdown, or I think he blocked the punt for the Eagles. Like, that guy's not going to make a ton of plays on the defensive side of the ball, but he gets to go out there, block a punt. All of a sudden, it's a,
that's the
he gets a highlight.
biggest moment of his career.
Khalil Raymond, that guy's not going to be running a ton of routes, but running kicks back.
Yeah, only 2 catches in this game for like 14, 15 yards. But however many return yards he got, that's going to be remembered. Because that like won the Lions the game right there.
Much like that just took the soul out of the Cleveland.
I think last year, I agree with you. Last year we saw the running game renaissance. Teams started bringing back more that smash mouth football, and this year we're bringing back the forgotten art of special teams and getting your guys, your gunners out there, those forgotten positions. The people that regular fans might not even know are on the team until the game starts. We're remembering those guys this year. I like that.
Another game where a punt return played a huge role. New England Patriots, they're down 6-0 coming up near the end of the first quarter against the Panthers. Then Marcus Jones kind of, I think the Panthers are expecting a bit of a fair catch. It doesn't come, and then they miss a few tackles. He gets going down the sideline 87 yards later. It's touchdown.
That was sweet.
7-6 ball game, and then it was, that opened the floodgate. New England goes and scores 21 in the second quarter and just cruised to their huge victory over Carolina. And think about like that, their other win against Miami, dude. Like, they give up the punt return touchdown and then immediately punch back with Antonio Gibson running the opening kickoff back. Like, special teams have become a huge factor in why New England's been able to win 2 games this season. And who doesn't love a good return? And I think Drake May is starting to get comfortable back there. They only let him throw the ball 17 times, 203 in the touchdown. He was 14-17 though, so pretty good. They ran it a good amount.
They were able to get Diggs kind of going too.
Yeah, Diggs finally
6 for 101.
Diggs finally coming alive. Wasn't like it was just a lot of the defense giving them some short fields. Those it's just like good returns. I mean, Marcus Jones had 3 returns for 167 yards at a touchdown. So those special teams just playing a major role in this whole thing. And with the Panthers on the other side, I don't even really know what to say. Like, this is just a wild, inconsistent team. Andy Dalton ended up coming in. Haven't been able to get Chuba Hubbard going really all this year.
That's what's really been tough. Like, Panthers were kind of like high profile to be at least like decent, at least show some improvement to last year, but they really look like the same exact team that they had like the last 3-4 seasons.
It's just like you go off like that dominating win over Atlanta, and then you just get dominated. And it's like, who is this team's identity? They had that near comeback against Arizona after they kind of just got, it was only a 16-point loss, but I mean, they really got beat. Like, they just got shut down at Jacksonville week 1. So it's like just week to week, man. You don't know what you're getting with this team. Now we're talking about the Falcons. I mean, let's jump into it. Did a total 180.
Dude. Complete 180.
Penix Jr. was on point, 20 of 26, 313 and a touchdown. Bijan, Tyler Algier, that's a nasty 1-2 punch in the running game there. Like, when that's going, I mean, Atlanta's tough to beat. The $125 out of those 2 and 2 touchdowns. And then Bijan, deadly through the air too. 4 catches for 106. Huge, best game of the season for Drake London. 8 for 110 in the touch. Kyle Pitts scored a touchdown, folks.
How many is that on the year for him? Let's see.
I think it's just 1.
Yep, 1.
He's on the board. his year officially. It's his year this year, starting now.
205 yards on the season and a touchdown with 20 receptions.
So, dude, for
Killing it.
Mariota and the Commanders, Deebo Samuel's really the only one stepping up in the absence of Terry McLaurin. He was
Yeah.
good.
He had a big game in this one.
72 yards and a touchdown. Commanders kind of made it close late, but they were trailing by multiple scores for a lot of it. Their offensive line didn't match up super well against the Atlanta front. James Pierce, man, that guy's looking like he might be something special.
Washington's got to
Falcons.
figure out who this running back is going to be now that they don't
can't
have
decide, man.
Like Chris Rodriguez. We had never heard of him coming into this season, and now here it is, just splitting down the carries with Bill. You're like, can they just pick somebody that'd be the number one?
Jeremy McNichols, like what? Like let's.
Yeah, I can't forget about McNichols either. First week they didn't have Eckler against the Raiders. That was the number one running back.
It's a Commanders. It's a good team, but there's just like holes all over. Defensively, like you can really see like some of their age, and it's just like they're not super intimidating up front. Like I like Jason Newton hasn't really paid off in a big way yet. Dorrance Armstrong and where's Daron Payne, Javon Kinlaw. Those guys haven't been having super outstanding seasons, and then the back end coverage has been pretty inconsistent. They don't really have like a true Lattimore hasn't looked great.
Saints got rid of him. Cut your losses.
The safety play hasn't been out fantastic. Like even when they get Jaden Daniels back, like there's definitely a lot of weaknesses on this team that can be exploited for the Commanders.
And I like that they brought in some good veteran pieces, but it was bigger and more beneficial to their team last season. Like this year, having those veteran guys coming off a pretty long playoff run and then having a shorter off season without as many preseason games and then going straight into this year without having as much depth. Oh yeah. It kind of makes sense why this is a 2-2 football team.
But they didn't really make a big splash on the defensive side of the ball, which is what I think they needed to, like an elite edge rusher or something to just really make this team kind of a threat. All right, let's Jackson Dart, man. First start. Didn't put up a ton of yards through the air, but didn't turn the football over. Made some nice throws, was a threat with his legs.
This is the freaking team in the NFC East that I really hate. The Giants, dude. Because
got talent, but I mean losing Malik Neighbors is gonna.
That's why. That's my fantasy receiver that I'm pissed about not having a good year this year. Screw the Giants. Picking Malik Neighbors last year in the draft, and you give him absolutely no quarterback. It's like you're getting half the job done.
Now he's done for the year. That ACL tear,
you get somebody that can at least complete a pass, and what happens?
Nuked my fantasy team, man. I hope he's okay. And dude, it's at MetLife Field. It claims another victim, and it got Joe Alt too.
Yeah, Joe Alt goes down. His is just an ankle though, so he's expected to come back. But Neighbors' season ended right here.
So this game was really dominated by rookie running backs. Hampton had a big game. People are waiting for that, dude. 128 and a touchdown. And Cam Scatterby this guy just will run into a brick wall over and over and over again until it breaks.
He is the freaking scene. It's from Deadpool, right? Where Juggernaut's chasing that girl through all the walls.
Oh, that's X3.
That's X3. Yeah, he's just running through the walls, chasing the girl. That is Cam Scatterby.
Big game out of this Giants defense, which is pretty elite. I mean, Bobby Okereke having himself a season with all these tackles. Brian Burns was disruptive. He gets a sack. Thibodeau gets a sack as well. Despite only 2 sacks, I mean, a lot of pressure on Herbert. Did not look super comfortable back there. And, I mean, despite giving up 6 sacks, Dart protects the football.
No turnovers. Let's go.
Played a pretty clean game. Had a few fumbles, but they're able to get back on top of those. Rather efficient on 3rd down, which is a big story as the Chargers only converted the 4th of their 3rd downs.
The O-line just looked shattered without Joe Alt. And
it was the Chargers. They were beating themselves with penalties. That killed a lot of drives, just put them behind the sticks a ton. And then the Giants weren't super explosive, but they just held on to the ball. 11 more minutes.
They made their possessions matter by just having the ball for as long as possible.
Big test.
Finally,
against the Eagles. But I mean, how you feel? Like, do you think the Saints can get a win against this Jackson Dart-led team? I mean, that team.
If Dayball coaches like he did in this game, then no. But if he coaches like he normally does, then the Saints are going to win. Because I mean, this is probably the best coached game from Brian Daboll in his Giants tenure.
Oh, certainly.
When you take down Harbaugh, you get some game-wrecking sacks on Herbert. Couldn't stop the run worth a damn, but you had something.
Going on to our next matchup, we're going to just jump into this one real briefly. Cam Ward got no help down there. I mean, Tony Pollard, washed. Ridley, washed.
It's making Cam
Tyler
Ward
Lockett
look freaking worse.
Not even there. It's him and Alec Ayaman there against the world, dude. Like the defense is playing solid. CJ Stroud's offensive line. Did you see that play where Jeffrey Simmons sacked him immediately?
The center snapped the ball
and just let him run right past him.
Move.
And what's crazy is even if that didn't happen, there was an unblocked player off the edge too.
He still would have got sacked
on like a 4-man pressure. Like this offensive line has no idea what they're doing. So
it's like you have Jeffrey Simmons in that gap right next to you as the center.
Like it's
so
hard.
I'm gonna go and double team the other defense.
It's hard for me to write Stroud off. It's like I'm like, can we get the guy some protection and some better play calling? I think they got into the bag a little bit, went to the run game, and we're just eventually just trying to feed the ball to Woody Marks, who was the hot hand. Scores 2 touchdowns for him. And this one, the rookie Jaden Higgins getting his first NFL touchdown.
There was a few nice connections with CJ and Nico. It just took them the entire football game for that to happen.
So Texans get a much needed win, but I mean both of those teams
are out of contention. You got the Colts.
A lot of issues.
You got the Colts in your division.
We're talking Colts and Jaguars next because both those teams squaring off against some AFC West teams. We're going to start with the Colts. Weren't able to pull off the win because vintage Matthew Stafford, dude. I mean, through the 29-41, he had a 123 passer rating, 375 and 3 touchdowns.
The back injury is not an issue for this man. No problem.
Dude, 36 and just slinging it with the best of them. Still top 10 quarterback in the league. Danny
Puka
Dimes
being a legit safety valve though.
Yeah,
13 catches.
He's my other guy.
That's offensive rookie of the year right there.
Look
at offensive player, sorry.
Only 1 touchdown, but he's got 503 yards. I want you to guess how many catches he has through 4 games.
He's at like 50, right?
42. He's got
42.
That's insane. He might break Michael Thomas's record this year if he keeps it up at this rate. I mean, that is an insane amount of passes.
Already having 42 catches in 4 weeks. It's insane. This game should have been 34-20 though, and the Colts should have won.
Yeah, dude.
The Colts should have won this game.
Adonai Mitchell, I mean, he wiped off at least 12 points. 14 probably, assuming those PATs go down. Fumbling the ball, like he made an amazing catch, and then he stays on his feet, keeps running, Like, you're right there. What are you doing? How do you drop the ball in that situation and let it go out the back of the end zone?
Celebrated too early, and it just slips out of his hands.
And dude, it pains
right at the
me,
goal line.
because I thought this guy was going to be special. I think he wipes off an amazing Jonathan Taylor run with a holding penalty.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Just killing themselves.
And like
with
Danny
the
Dimes,
penalties in this
2
one.
picks in this one. I see what he was going for. His problem is that he just stared down the route. Like
His eyes were directly where he wanted.
You
to throw
would
the
have
ball.
had a one-on-one matchup if you tried to look off the safety, but he didn't either time. And it's like, yeah, if you look off the safety, I like that throw. But I mean, that was just playing center field, just run over and get it.
Yeah.
So
that's where you get Danny Dimes, though. That's where you start to get Danny Dimes, though.
But I mean, this is a good opponent on the road. Had it tied up with a chance to stop them, and then blew a
2
coverage.
minutes.
You blew a coverage, and Tutu Atwell just waltzed in for what was it, an 88-yard touchdown. Only catch of the game, by the way. Just somebody forgot about him. He was just butt booty naked behind all the defense and just takes it in for a touchdown.
Yep, 1 catch for 88 yards for the kid. Jeez.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Rams, I still got them just a little bit over the Seahawks because if Stafford can stay healthy, I mean, dude's an elite QB. And when this offense is humming, like, they can put together some really long, sustained drives. I just want to see them be a bit more consistent when they get into the red zone. Between the 20s, they'll carve you up all day. It's when they get into the red zone. They have the tendency to stall. But if that gets cleaned up, I mean, there's not many defenses that I think got the ability to really slow this Rams team down. They're good. They're really good. Now we're gonna jump over to Santa Clara, the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they can just clean up some of their sloppiness, some dumb penalties that they get from time to time. I mean, they had 12 for 90 in this game. And like, if T-Law can just protect the football a little better, dude, this is a threatening team. They've run the ball extremely well. They can just open up the passing offense a little bit more. Oh, they'll be lethal. And then on defense, I was saying, man, Devin Lloyd, dark horse, DPOY candidate. He's like a mini Fred Warner with his these blitz spot drop coverages that he does, man. Like, he can fake the blitz, drop back, and like the way he baited Purdy so bad on one of his interceptions, just like Purdy was so sure that he was heading out to the deep left field. And as soon as he sees Purdy looked off, the way the hips flip, he comes over to that end breaker. I like Theo Ash was breaking it down. There's no way Purdy saw him there. He thought he had a wide open guy.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
Cerebral player, and I mean the rest of this team they got some real good linebackers besides him. Foyeside Aluakon's got a nose for the ball. Allen and Travion Walker on the edge, and then Eric Armstead kind of in the middle there on that defensive line. Brought in Jack Kaiser. It's a good defense. It's a real good defensive unit. They get a punt return touchdown, and this one too.
Those mistakes you're talking about, though, it's funny that it was like an accusation made by Robert Saleh, days leading up to the game, on media days, about some type of sign stealing happening with the Jaguars. And it's for a team that makes as many mistakes as they do, and has kind of almost lost themselves as many games as they've won this year, doesn't really look like a team that's really stealing your guys's. Doesn't really look like this is a team that's really taking anything from anyone in the film room. And the same thing, it's probably the accusations made probably happen every single week from every single team. That's what I don't understand. But it was a good get back for our boy Liam Cohen, telling Robert Sala, "Get my name out your mouth" after the W.
And yeah, those Purdy interceptions. One was kind of a bobble. The other, I think he just, in his mind, he was making the right play. So Purdy's dude. He's Purdy's like an action. He's a really good quarterback. Like better at avoiding pressure than people give him credit for. I mean, the run game with CMC hasn't really been there, but they've just been feeding it to him. This Niners team is just so banged up. They just can't stay healthy again. It's like, man, if they could be healthier, this would immediately go back to being a dominating team. But
yeah, because we're looking at a pretty polished Brock Purdy. We all agree with you. He's definitely made some major strides in improving as a passer, and like you're saying, just getting out of pressure, like an elite quarterback would.
Samuel's gone. No George Kittle. No Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
he's getting it done with Pearsall and Jawan Jennings.
Yeah,
getting the ball to CMC out of the backfield. You know, that defense, no more Hufunga, no Dre Greenlaw. It's a
little harder for that team.
You lost Eric Armstead to the Jacksonville. Like, it's nowhere near the team that they have, and still could. I mean, that team's at a 3-1 record, so it's unfortunate they just can't stay healthy, because I don't think that it's going to come back to bite them. And now that Bosa's gone, that's just the big thing, is like that pressure that he was able to add really gave him a shot. All right, moving on to our final afternoon game, or one of our final ones. I mean, I think for time reasons, we're not going to spend too much time on this, because Kansas City shredding a bad Baltimore defense. I think Zach Orr's got to get fired. Like that, it's just coming down to coaching, man. Like there's talent here. I know they're injured, but there's too much talent here for them to just be getting gashed the way they are every week.
Yeah, there's no way.
I mean, I know Matabike is hurt, and they're missing some of the guys on the D line. I'm blanking on their injuries right now, but let me go just pull this up for you. Kyle Van Noy is hurt. They're missing Travis Jones there in the middle. Roquan has been dealing with a hamstring. Matabike had to go to IR. Humphrey, he's been dealing with a calf injury. Wiggins has been a little banged up.
Man.
So, but again, the way they've just been getting cooked the past 2 seasons, especially after how Mike McDonald had a unit with arguably less talent playing, is strange. And then, a somewhat better rushing game. Backfield by committee there for the Chiefs, and Worthy kind of getting him the ball in some space helped open up some rushing lanes. But Mahomes, surgical, dude. 274 touchdowns.
He's really just carrying this team.
Worthy stays healthy, and then Rashid Rice comes back. I mean, look out. This Kansas City.
It's unfortunate to see.
They're back up to 500. Getting that offense back on track. I don't know. Maybe Baltimore's defense was really just that bad, but
it could be. But still, even in those 2 previous games that they lost, Patrick Mahomes has been carrying this team week in, week out. He's been the top dog.
They're 1-3. Lamar could be hurt. We don't know how the severity of that yet.
Yeah, the hamstring.
Pittsburgh might win the division if things continue the way they're going, which is insane.
Aaron Rodgers back in the playoffs.
Insane to see.
Dude, it's Steelers, man. They're gonna find a way to have a winning record.
And I don't think the Browns are gonna put together too many wins. The Bengals have a litany of issues.
They're atrocious. That's what the Bengals are. That's the story on them.
So we're gonna jump to our next game, though.
Poor Ravens. Ravens fans out there.
The Raiders. Geno Smith is writing back, people. What is this stinky ass stat line, dude? 14 of 21.
This is another
Buck
week he threw
17,
3 picks.
3 interceptions. Just throwing,
Back-to-back weeks he's thrown 3
just
picks.
lobbing up Christmas presents across the field. Kevin Byard, Tyreek Stevenson said, "Thank you. We'll take those."
Sorry, he got 6 touchdowns, 7 picks on the year.
Ruined
Holy
a
crap.
vintage Max Crosby performance. Max Crosby,
Right? He was on fire.
Dominated, batting passes, had an interception off a batted ball, blowing up plays in the run game.
That's the best Max Crosby performance we've seen in so long. I was so happy.
He didn't get to Caleb, but like, dude, he forced Caleb to bail out.
He got a
out
QB
of pockets. Hit. Yeah, throw the ball away a ton. That's like Caleb had 15 incompletions. I'd say at least 6 or 7 of those were just purely because he was running from Crosby. He had to just ditch the ball.
And 3 of them got batted down.
Right. So like 3 more were like it wasn't just Crosby. I mean, the defensive front for the Raiders was playing with some ambition, dude. And Gino just kept putting them in atrocious position. Like the Bears couldn't run the ball at all. Caleb was okay. The one pick, not much you can do. I mean, that was an incredible play. Only got sacked 1 time, 212, threw a touchdown. So it just those picks just kept putting them in terrible spots. It wasn't like they were getting a ton off of kick returns either, or punt returns. Just Cairo Santos super accurate. And then the Raiders just putting their defense, like the Bears didn't have to get a lot of yardage to get Santos in field goal range.
No.
And then Caleb leads a great drive to get them down the field. DeAndre Swift runs it in, gives them a 1-point lead. Raiders get in the field goal range, blocked. It's again, those special teams playing such a pivotal role. One thing, the only positive coming out of this game for Raiders fans is the Ashton Genty
breakout week.
Buck 38 on the ground, 3 total touchdowns. He caught two passes for 17 yards, both of those touchdowns, and then he added a 64-yard run on the ground. Donald Parham kind of remembered how to block this week, so that was pretty crucial for him. But yeah, man, Vegas, a team that I thought was going to be sneaky good.
Thought they would be better.
I wasn't ready to write off Gino. He didn't even get sacked in this one, dude.
No, just decision making.
He's just been careless with the ball.
Forget it, man.
Clearly, the Seahawks, they made the right decision moving on from him.
Is it time for Kenny Pickett in Vegas? That's their other option.
Winning quarterback, Kenny Pickett.
That's who they've got.
He was the man on the field taking the kneel down as the clock hit 0 in the Super Bowl.
That's it.
Put some respect on my boy Kenny Pickett. All right. Sunday night football. The 40-40 tie. We already discussed it. Nobody's happy with a 40-40 tie. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. Nobody's satisfied.
Not something we look forward to. But, dude, this was, by EPA per drive, the 2 single best performances of the season. 2 of the best of all time, just in terms of offensive performances in the game. It was just also simultaneously 2 of the absolute worst defensive performances we've ever seen. So it was like perfect offense meets
terrible defense.
Horrible defense. It was a immovable object. No, it was a very movable object. No. I don't know how to phrase this because you think like immovable object, that would be defense, but like really it's just the immovable object, unstoppable force was these 2 offenses again, and the storm of bad defenses, and so they surrendered. It's a tie.
It was two unstoppable forces colliding. That's what we saw here.
Like, dude, the Cowboys didn't even have CeeDee Lamb out hurt. Pickens. A lot of teams taking notice.
Stepped into the role. He's like, I'm number 1 now.
8 receptions, Buck 34, 2 touchdowns. Got a lot of good out of the ground in the running game, man. Buck 17 for the Cowboys, Buck 64 for the Packers. Josh Jacobs all over this game. 86 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, 4 catches for 71 yards. Romeo Dobbs catching 3 touchdowns. Clear favorite in the red zone for Jordan Love, man. 31 of 43, 337, 3 touchdowns.
Man, whoever played Jimmy this week in fantasy, you had to deal with. That's 5 total touchdowns from his quarterback and running back right there.
Plus, you had McManus, who had a ton of points as well.
Yeah, kicking all those field goals.
You got smoked in this one. Yeah, it is a fantastic, super fun game to watch. Jerry credit, I guess, he was right about one thing. A good offensive product is the most entertaining thing.
That's probably the only thing that's ever came out of his mouth that's right.
Credit to Schottenheimer and the offensive play calling here. Really just found a way to just take Parsons out of the game. Some revenge game, dude. He was, just running away from him, throwing the ball away from him. And eventually they got to the point that O-line was so dialed in. Dak was comfortable back there. He just could not.
Yeah, he couldn't get any pressure through.
Although,
really comfortable night.
He did ultimately probably make the play that stopped the Cowboys from getting a touchdown by chasing Dak down and stopping, because Dak probably would have run that in for his second rushing touchdown of the night. And instead, Parsons got him. They had to kick the field goal. That gave Green Bay a chance to go down and tie the game.
Serious hustle,
despite some mismanagement of the clock. They're late. So, thoughts on the tie on this one? Do you got anything else to add to this game that was absolutely electric?
I think somebody at FanDuel is getting fired. 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the line is still open that the game is going to tie at plus 390. Of course, I'm going to bet on that. It's the perfect time for those offenses to stall out. After they had a just explosive shootout of a game, let's get into overtime and just kick some field goals and let the time run out. Perfect time for the offenses to stall out, and the perfect time for the defenses to finally get a stop, somewhat of a stop, hold them to 3 and not lose the game completely.
Dallas is going to be the most entertaining team to watch this year. I'm calling it. I can't think of another team that's just going to allow, because this is a fantastic offense. And Dak, dude, Dak's an elite quarterback. He's an elite quarterback. He plays like one for the until it gets to the postseason. But after that, he's
if they even make it.
So it's just there's going to be a lot of points scored. Dude, it looked like this was going to get ugly, and then Dallas flipped the switch to really get this thing competitive again, because Green Bay was just stifling them and then getting whatever they wanted offensively. But good creativity to generate some pressure and get after Love and force some bad throws and get a few stops here and there that just keep this game competitive. Monday Night Football, the Miami Dolphins
got the win
on the legs of Devon Achane and a 2-touchdown night out of Tua get the win.
But at what cost?
Tyreek
Your number
Hill,
one receiver dislocated his knee.
Brutal loss for them. Darren Waller.
Where the heck's that guy been at, man?
2 touchdowns tonight? All right.
He had 2. What the heck? Where has that guy been at?
Garrett Wilson, man, still. God, I feel bad for the dude. He's such an elite receiver, and he's just had such
terrible
poor quarterback play his whole time there, dude.
And a terrible O-line.
Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields are his QBs. He still got 27 catches for 311 and 3 touchdowns.
He's having a solid year. Fields really hasn't looked that bad. It's just kind of that the offense as a whole has been really sloppy.
Yeah. They haven't gotten a lot out of the run game. They fumbled when they could have gone up and scored the touchdown and got up 7-3. And you fumble right at the goal line. It's just the Jets just shoot themselves in the foot.
And it's always right after they have flash in the pan moment. Because I've seen them run the ball efficiently.
13 penalties in this game, Caveman. They had 197 on the ground. I mean, Fields had a huge play with his legs. They outgained Miami 404 to 300.
Oh my God. Come on, Miami.
Penalties,
Jets.
blowing up promising drives, and then shooting, like fumbling at the goal line, just dumb stuff like that. They fumbled 3 times and lost all 3.
Yeah.
Like Fields played the clean game passing, but he lost the fumble. Isaiah Williams lost the fumble. Allen, as I mentioned, fumbled at the goal line. So you got just got to hold on to the ball. The Jets, realistically, they could have beaten the Steelers. They had a real shot. Who against Tampa Bay?
Yeah, they had it down to pretty much backed Baker up against the wall.
Yeah, they came back in that thing and they took the lead, and then their defense just fell apart despite them, they gave up a lot of field goals, but they were all bend don't break for most of that game, and then they couldn't get like a takeaway or a stop or anything. Just a shocking lack of no pressure from this defensive line, no takeaways. It's just not. There's something here, like New York's beat themselves in a lot of these games. Like this is a team that easily could be 3-1.
Easily,
it's kind of crazy, and they're not they still got some talent on both sides of the ball. Like that's not a bad team, dude. It's not. It's all really self-inflicted. They gotta get that cleaned up. First year coach, maybe that gets worked on, but it's getting late early for them in this season. We're gonna dedicate these last 8 minutes, okay, man, to talking about my Broncos. Let's go, dog.
4 weeks in.
Dominated.
This was the perfect matchup to have, though, after the last few weeks.
We're another team that could easily be 4-0 right now. We could easily be undefeated. We beat ourselves in 2 games, and it came down to the absolute last moments of a game, and we lost on 2 field goals. That's frustrating, but we're still a rather young team, and it's new into the season, so just maybe we're not quite there yet with some of those other top teams. It's just could be 4-0. But this came in and it took care of business. The defense, absolutely, this is what we were expecting. So the Bengals drive down on their opening drive and score 3 points. That was all they wrote. That was all it wrote for Cincinnati's offense the rest of the night. Jamar Chase clamped. 5 catches for 23 yards. T. Higgins clamped. 3 for 32. Riley Moss got his get back. Not only did the Bengals not score since their opening drive, they didn't have a play in Broncos territory after that opening drive. We kept them on the other side of the 50 the rest of the game.
This game would have been so much fun if Joe Burrow was here, just going into the weak circumstances for the Broncos. This game would have been electric with Joe Burrow. Man.
One red zone pick for Bo Nix, but besides that, fantastic game. Had the rushing touchdown, 2 through the air, threw for 326.
Are you happy with this running, though? 16 carries for Dobbins.
We got the run going. 30 carries with
30
Dobbins
total.
And Harvey. A lot of that because we had the ball so much. And we were running the ball a lot on first down and going for quick hitters and easy plays on first down to get us on schedule, And I think Bo hit some absolute lasers in this one. We haven't had a 100-yard rusher since Latavius Murray back in 2022. So that was just
broke it.
Nice for Dobbins.
101
to break that seal. Cortland Sutton with another touchdown. RJ Harvey caught a touchdown. Marvin Mims with a rushing touchdown as well. And I just want to show team stats here. The after the opening drive as well, the Bengals did not convert a third down. So we'll put that there too.
My God.
So total yards on the game. Cincinnati only had 159. The Broncos had 512. Outgained them 512 to 159.
Dang.
This is just what we need to see. Like against a bad team, we kept our penalties to. I mean, they were just throwing flags on everything. It was ridiculous. Like I'll say, like Cincinnati kind of got screwed by a bad call on a false start when they were going to go for it on 4th and 2 that forced them the punt. But then it just comes down to like this is like where the team's at coaching wise. They just unraveled after that. Like that one little thing, and that team just like
Fell apart.
They lost all their energy, man. And I just like I watched the team like they quit on their coach, and their coach just quit.
Yeah, the coach quit on the organization, and the team, the players quit on the
They were going
coach.
to go for it on that 1 4th down early in the game, get backed up, and they just never really took a chance like that again. Got sacked a number of times. I think I said the over-under was how many sacks? 7. Didn't quite get to that. Only had 3, but Nick Bonito with 1.5. Been worth every cent of that new contract. Cooper got in for the other half on that one. John Franklin Myers up the middle. I love what I saw out of this team, dude. It was against the team like they're just a few opportunities on offense that we missed, but like bad team that we just dominated. Like, and we play the brand of football that just really complements this defense, which is ball control. And then when they get out there, they're rested, they're flying around, getting after the QB. Alex Singleton was a menace with 11 tackles in this game. And I think we quiet night in the return game for Mims, but he's always a playmaker there. And Harvey, I like him back there for kick return. Like I think he can do some special things. So yeah. Huge win for my Broncos here. On the flip side, Cincinnati, I mean, fire Zach Taylor, man. I'm bringing it back.
I mean,
Jamie cover your ears. Zach Taylor, bro.
After this season, I definitely say so. But they haven't even. Is it really fully his decision to want to spend and bring in only these guys? Because they don't even
with like his coach, his play calling, his coaching.
They should have just fired him after last year because they brought in Cam Taylor-Britt and they brought in Geno Stone, and their defense has less guys now. So it makes sense why their defense is terrible. Now they've got even less name guys. They have even less depth. Like at this point, they kind of have to.
This team, they do not look motivated to play for them. They had a little energy to come out, and then I gotta just stress, like one little thing didn't go their way, and
it was
after
over.
that,
They knew it was over.
The Broncos they were completely at Denver's mercy because you just could tell like they just wanted that game over with by like halftime.
They were ready to get out of there.
They were done, dude. Like there's no even when they did, somebody made a nice play. There was no energy. Nothing. No. They didn't try they didn't get aggressive at all after they were trailing 18 and down 25. They didn't try, attempt to go for it on 4th down. They just gave up, and that's the other thing is Taylor didn't even try to get a little creative or spark anything in those guys. He just
they lost Burrow, and the team they all just kind of checked out.
Those holes in that team. They go from little tiny pokes to just massive voids when he's out because Burrow puts on that Superman cape and does incredible things.
Yeah, it just takes a matter of a few weeks in every season because he literally can't stay healthy. And most of the time, it's not even his fault. I mean, dude, he's getting sacked left and right, pressured constantly.
Got no run game. He's dropping back and throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game behind a subpar offensive line. Takes a toll, man. Big win for my Broncos. Cincinnati is in trouble. AFC North wide open for the Steelers. That's going to do it for another edition of Till the Final Whistle Football Frenzy. We'll be back tomorrow. for our regular sports show. We got a finals team in the WNBA. MLB playoffs are getting underway. We got Pick'em, and it's fantasy advice for you. We'll be back with another edition of Team Builder. So make sure you tune in, and we'll see you next Tuesday for another episode of Till the Final Whistle Football Frenzy. Caveman and H.G. signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.